in rushing last season with 1,009 yards and 16 touchdowns as one of the go-to weapons out of the backfield. He is now the 7th highest paid running back in the NFL per annual average value. And Giants star wideout Malik Neighbors did not practice on Tuesday, leading to more questions about his toe injury. Now, Neighbors hadn't practiced since August 6th, which he said at the time was all, quote, part of the process. Head coach Brian Dable would not answer any questions yesterday about whether or not Neighbors requires additional tests on his toe, but the Giants wide receiver has been dealing with his lingering toe injury since college, so something needs done and fast. From the Crop Metcalf 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCannell, The Fan.
What up, everybody? It is 10 a.m. in the District of Columbia.
What do deadlines do, JP?
And James Cook just got paid.
Hey, deadlines make deals, baby.
Look at that. Now, everybody here in Washington, very, very focused on the Terry McLaurin situation. I no lie had a dream about the contract situation last night. I'll tell you about it. Yeah, it was bizarre.
Damn, Jay, you really thinking about this stuff. Huh? They say you normally dream about what you go to bed thinking of.
I mean, I'm trying to figure stuff out, man. I'm trying to figure things out. But here's what we know. James Cook, Buffalo Bills, just got paid. That's a running back getting paid. That is clearly big deal for Buffalo. This is a young man that's been very good for them. Now, let's do some NFL math, people. Welcome into BMitch Finlay. His name's Brian Mitchell. He's an NFL legend. I'm a Big Ear blogger. We're streaming if you want to stream along with us. If you want to see what we look like today. B, do you recognize this shirt?
No.
About the back.
TPC.
Yeah, man, with a voodoo doll. I thought you'd like
shucks.
it. One thing that's really important for us.
Careful wearing that, Jay.
Us all to remember is James Cook, running back for the Bills, who has shown some real promise, right?
Yep.
Young guy. His older brother's Dalvin Cook, if you're familiar with his work, famously with the Vikings, but he's bounced around a little bit.
Banged up a little bit.
Yep. I think James Cook is a Georgia Bulldog. James Cook
He's a Bulldog?
The Mississippi State Bulldog. I hope Fred heard that one. We have to play my BMitch impression from yesterday, by the way. In the last 2 seasons, James Cook has gone for probably close to 3,000 yards from scrimmage. And last season, he had 16 touchdowns on the ground, 18 total touchdowns, 2-time Pro Bowler. So James Cook was holding out. Then James Cook decided to hold in. Then James Cook decided, I'm going to practice because I feel like this thing's getting close.
Mm-hmm.
And then this morning, I believe it was this morning, maybe it was last night, forgive me, James Cook signed a 4-year, $48 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of that $48 million, $30 million is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So the reality is this is probably a 2-year contract extension at 15 a pop is my guess.
Hey.
I haven't seen the numbers to know for sure.
You think he's complaining about 15 per?
Definitely not. I also know that James Cook is still under contract this year for the last year of his rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an extension, right? This goes above and beyond. But I think if you are a Commanders fan, and I don't want to extrapolate too much, right? Like these are different situations, different teams, different positions, different age groups for sure. But if you want to extrapolate and you want some optimism regarding the Terry McLaurin situation, what have we seen with Terry? We saw him hold out. Then we saw him hold in. Then yesterday, We saw him at practice. Now, he did not practice. I can't imagine his first day in a ramp-up period would have been a full pad scrimmage anyway, but he was out there.
Yeah.
We saw him talk with Adam Peters. Depending on if you believe the lip-reading AI services, it seemed like maybe there was some real conversation about let's get this done. Who knows? Maybe they were talking about...
Who was reading lips that closely?
Dog, these AI programs, man.
they full of crap.
I don't know.
Listen, man, let's just go here.
Ignore the lip reading.
I don't
but
worry about the lip reading.
Process is...
But, I mean,
there's some similarities.
This is basically what happens all the time. People go through a situation where they seem like they're upset. One guy said, I'm going to hold out. The other people act like they're going to hold. They're going to stand pat. They begin to talk. They get a deal done. I mean, it's going through the thing like it does all the time. And like you're right, James Cook's deal has nothing to do with this deal. I think this deal had to go through the process. You know? And listen, if a deal isn't going to happen, they'd have made a move by now, I think. Because there are people that will trade for him. And
you talking about Terry or
yes,
Cook?
I'm talking about Terry. I'm all for Buffalo Bills. They can everybody else can keep over there. The deal with Terry is going to take care of itself as soon as it's time to take care of it, and I think it's coming soon. That's just my belief.
I do too, B. I think, and I'm not just basing it on Terry being at practice yesterday. I think that's an important part of this. I've thought all along it's going to be a time thing, and I think Washington's offense getting bogged down in spots doesn't necessarily hurt Terry's options. But, dude, both of these teams need each other. Like, that's not to suggest there aren't other ways to go. Of course, this is the United States of America. There's always another way. This is the planet Earth. Things can always happen and change. But, like, Washington needs Terry. Jaden needs Terry. The offense needs Terry.
Yeah.
And Terry's under contract for this year. So, like, if he wants to increase what he knows his guarantees will be, the best way to do it is to sign now. That doesn't mean B, we were in New England. How many people talked to you about Terry up there?
Everybody I saw.
Everybody. They're obsessed with getting McLaurin.
Yep.
And I keep telling them it's not going to happen. But I just think we're getting closer and closer.
Terry on this team helps this team get to where they want to go. Terry on somebody else's team, and no matter what you get for it, don't help this team get to where they want to go at that point, because this offense being dominant helps you move forward. And for the most part, there's nobody finna trade you a receiver that's better than Terry right now.
No, it's mid-August, dude. Like, if things were going to happen, generally the dudes you're going to get in mid-August, unless there's some massive trade coming, which I wouldn't expect, I think you get Terry, I think you get a deal done relatively soon. And it's kind of what we said when they got to camp in mid-July or late July, whatever it was, the 24th-ish. Like, yeah, they've got time. Zach Ertz, I think he was on SportsCenter. I don't remember where Zach Ertz said it. But he said, he's like, yeah, you know, it's 7 weeks until week one. I don't think this is a primary concern. But the news this morning, James Cook getting paid by the Bills. You can believe the number his agent wants you to believe, which is 4 years, $48 million, or you can believe that it's $30 million guaranteed. If you look around the league, the highest paid running backs, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, are both making about $20 million a year. Saquon's making over 20. CMC's making 19. Then you've got Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor at that 14, 15 mark. I think James Cook can get there because he's been really, really good, and the Bills know they want to keep him. And the market just keeps going up.
Yep.
So my guess is, what is 4 and 48 is 12, right? Isn't 4 times 12, 48?
Yeah.
But if it's 30 guaranteed, maybe it's 12 a year and they guaranteed a little into a third year. Maybe they gave him, what would that be? A $6 million roster bonus is guaranteed on the third day of the league year.
You like dissecting that. I don't care. It ain't my money.
Sure.
Whatever those numbers are, they are. I don't give a damn about it. All I know is he signed a deal that was bigger than the one he had.
Correct. And I don't know. I think I almost want to open the phones off the top here. I know we tried to do this yesterday, but we just had so much going on out at practice. Like, James Cook just got into camp. There are more and more people kind of getting done. And I just wonder if people are feeling better. I think even Jeff's crazy ass, the roller coaster that is Jeff Walker, is feeling better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the Terry situation, I literally had a dream about it last night, that I was like in this weird office building.
Getting a little deep in that thing, man. Damn.
I was in this office building talking with Terry, and he told me where they're at and where they needed to be, and that he thought it was close. Now, those numbers were cockamamie. They were not real, but it was interesting. It was very bizarre to have a dream about it. I can tell you that. Perhaps I need.
That is bizarre.
Perhaps I need a hobby.
Bizarro world.
How are you? How you feeling? You've been fighting this little head cold.
I'm good. I am very good.
Get some sleep. You take those NyQuil, you sleep, dog.
I slept great. I got great REM sleep, deep sleep, all that.
Did you, your Aura Ring?
Aura Ring hooked me up. But it did, like yesterday, it says something is really stressing your body. Today, it was very, very mild. So I'm trying to figure out now how the hell this ring can taste so much.
I mean, how does it work? It's right on your bloodstream or whatever?
It got sensors and stuff in it, so I don't know. It's interesting, dog.
Jeff, if people are calling in about the James Cook thing, go ahead and take those calls. I'm trying to log into this computer from 1986. I think this is the computer Steve Jobs built in his parents' garage. I think the James Cook thing in a vacuum has absolutely nothing to do with Terry. But if you want to just be kind of intelligent about the way the league works, you know what teams are realizing is we got a game in 3 weeks.
What they realizing is the people we have, we better damn sure get them signed and move forward with them.
I am curious kind of what the latest is in Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson. It'll be very cool to see the Bengals Monday night, because that's a team that offensively, they're fantastic. And that's never been their issue. It's defensively. Did you see how the Bengals did in their first preseason game, B?
Yeah, they came out and Joe Burrow was balling.
Certainly. Joe Burrow balling has not been the problem in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow went 9 of 10 for $123 with 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 4 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. None of that is a surprise. What should concern the people in Cincinnati? Are you familiar with Tanner McKee's work?
No, don't know who he is.
He's the backup to Jalen Hurts. I believe he's a Stanford product. Tanner McKee in this game. Now, granted, they're not game planning. The Eagles have a lot of talent, all that. I understand. Tanner McKee went 20 of 25 for 250 and 2 touchdowns, bro.
Mm-hmm. Their defense has been a problem.
Yeah. Your defense has been a problem. I think you got to get Hendrickson back on the field to try to slow down dudes like Tanner McKee, let alone.
Realize that team been cheap for years, dog. Their mantra has always been they have an offense that's okay, and their defense hasn't been. They may not change, knowing them. I mean, they may waste a damn good Joe Burrow, Chase, and the Higgins. They may waste it by not. Look, they might have to average 45 a game to go and do what they got to do, what they want to do.
Hell, what did they average last year?
They averaged a lot. And they won how many games?
I think they went 8 and 9.
No,
they went 9 and 8 last year.
9
still
and 8,
missed the playoffs.
And how many points they scored per game?
They
scored 30-something against us and lost, right?
They were 28. They averaged 28 a game, 6th in the NFL.
They might need to score 35, 36.
They really might. The defense was ranked 25th. They gave up 26 a game. And, dude, playing in that AFC North where I don't know what the Steelers are going to be. I don't know what the Browns are going to be, but you know what the Ravens are going to be. Like, do you see any chance the Ravens don't win double-digit games?
No, Ravens going to be tough.
Unless Lamar gets hurt. I mean, that's always a caveat, but that caveat exists for most NFL teams. Trying to open these. I might need you to just pot up callers if we got a bunch, because I got VX calling. Let's hit these phones to start. Let's go to Austin is in Fairfax. Austin, James Cook has signed, and Terry McLaurin watched his first practice of the year yesterday. How you feeling?
I think everybody's getting signed except Terry McLaurin is starting to get really frustrating. I mean, is it really worth, $4 or $5 million that Terry's asking for to jeopardize a Super Bowl run with Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin? And I also don't think that it makes sense whatsoever to jeopardize losing Terry McLaurin when we just signed Deebo Samuel. Like, what is Deebo Samuel going to do without Terry McLaurin?
I think that's right, but I think there's positive momentum. I don't know that they're $4 or $5 million away. I think it's more about guarantees over the long term. But you're not incorrect, dude. So you don't feel better considering where things are right now.
Not at the moment, no. I mean, honestly, it's just getting frustrating at this point. I mean, I've been looking forward to this season more than any other season in my entire life, and with this whole entire Terry situation, it's making me real nervous. I mean, I'm even worried about playing the Giants week 1, especially with that defensive line.
I mean, that Giants D-line looks good. Abdul Carter looks really good. Austin, are you a nervous guy by nature?
Yeah.
Austin, I was about to say, Austin don't care about Dalvin Cook. He don't care about Terry being in practice. He already upset. He don't care. he didn't have to. All that stuff that came happen yesterday didn't change him one bit.
Thank you for calling, Austin. Appreciate you listening, buddy.
He said, not at all. I can hear it in his voice.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
See you, man. Austin needs some.
They could have said that, they're talking now. He wouldn't have cared.
What do you call it? Ashwagandha? Stuff that calms your brain down a little bit?
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha is a real thing. It's not weed, Landfill. It's a herb. I believe it's an herb, not marijuana.
Somebody probably.
I thought ganja was what you were trying to come up with.
That's another. That's more potent. That has psychedelic impacts. Let's go to Elijah in D.C. Eli, you feeling better, dog?
I'm feeling better. For me, it's not over to the fat lady things, man. This happens every year. You have to understand that coaches, in between these practices, they're sitting down, they're having conversations about the production and the gap. For me, I think not having Terry McLaurin signed is going to create a production gap, right? Not saying that we can't fill that gap. I do feel that 5 can fill that production gap for you, but does he have to? Should he? The preparation work that's going to go into this thing, if you don't have legitimate wide receiver play, it's just going to ask a lot of the coaches. It's going to ask a lot of other guys. It's going to ask of other guys to step up. You're going to potentially see other points that maybe you just didn't want to see. You talk about certain things getting swept under the rug. I'm not a believer. I don't want stuff swept under the rug. I want everything how it needs to be. But I think certain points will start to show themselves because when the lights get big, 5 is going to show up, and he's going to put the team, he's going to strap the team on his back and do what needs to be done. But you as an organization have to protect your investment to see and say, hey, man, we know he has the gas. He can put his foot on the gas, and he can just absolutely take over a game. But let's help him out. It's going to change. It's going to require a lot of these other skill position guys to be ready to roll. If you don't know what your position is, if you got a 3-5, if you got a set, and you need somebody to move to the other side, and now he don't know what his new responsibility is, now you are hurting our investment as a long term because now he has to start making up for things, and the risk factor raises up.
Yeah.
Because he has to say, man, I need to put my cape on. I'm getting to the playoffs.
See, the thing about
he's getting there.
That's what they need to avoid. 5 putting on his cape.
He's going. He's going to get there. He don't care if he by himself. His mindset, he's going. Also, Steve Young talked about him being the prototypical guy. I know you got to cut me loose. If you could just talk about that. I don't know if y'all got to check it out.
That's at 11:30, dog.
Yeah, we saw it.
It's on the show sheet. Don't worry.
It was killing. Steve Young talked about how great of a guy and of a prototype he is.
That's understandable, but you don't want him to have to be putting on a cape.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you for the call.
You got to know it's like having a Bugatti. You better put that thing in the wintertime. You put your stuff where it need to be. You know how it is. You got that Ferrari. Hey, Joe, I need my tires. I ain't getting no snow, no dust, and no crap on my tires. I'm putting my stuff away how it needs to be to protect it. That's what they need to do, man.
Man.
Thank you, Eli. Eli got a lot to say. Not incorrect. I think you're right.
Yeah,
I like the comment about.
The main thing he said, 5 will throw on his cape. You don't want 5 to throw on his cape. You don't want him to have to do much.
Not for 17 games.
If you can help him, you want to help him to where he only throws on that cape in necessary situations. You don't want the whole damn game to be a necessary situation.
Totally agree with that. I think Terry McLaurin helps a lot in that capacity. Phone lines started jumping early. I'm not the only one excited about James Cook getting a.
Ain't nobody care
new
about James Cook,
contract.
Jay. They care about Terry.
It's the time of year is what I
They are
noticed.
not concerned about James Cook. Terry was outside yesterday, dog. And whatever makes him think more about him possibly getting closer, that's all that matters.
Catch me outside. You know who else is outside? If you're looking to buy or sell a house, John Leahy, boots on the ground, man. Whatever's going on in the DMV marketplace, John Leahy knows how to get it done. You can't sell your house. You want to buy a house. You're looking for a good deal. Whatever it is, hit up John Leahy. He's the DMV MVP of real estate.
Yeah, but he'll get it done for you just like he did for Ashley. Ashley had purchased her Upper Marlboro home 2 years ago, but it hadn't gained any equity for her. It had become time to sell, so John Leahy and the Fine Living Group went right to work, and it certainly didn't take long. The property was under contract within 3 days and sold for the very price that John and his team had recommended, in only 2 months at that. If you're looking to sell, take advantage of John Leahy and the Fine Living Group's guaranteed offer. Start by finding out what your home is worth in only 30 seconds. We're talking about our good friend John Leahy and the Fine Living Group of eXp Realty. John offers you flexible fees customized to your needs, and he knows that life happens. So if needed, he will let you out of your contract at any time.
These are stressful times, man, and a lot of times you're moving, it's stressful. Whether it's just dealing with all the documents you got to get, whether it's just dealing with why you have to move, maybe there's a family reason, maybe you got a new job, whatever it is, John Leahy and the Fine Living Group can help you through the stress and declutter your life to make it easier to buy or sell a home. That's why I would call John today. 301-900-3052. Go online to johnsellsdmv.com, or what's even easier, just Google John Leahy Group and start packing.
This sports update is brought to you by the Reynolds and Power Home Team, Keller Williams Realty. Jordan Love is undergoing surgery to fix a torn ligament in his left thumb. Love suffered the injury to his non-throwing hand after hitting a helmet during Sunday's preseason loss to the Jets and was seen wearing tape around the thumb at Monday's practice. The good news, though, for the Packers is that they expect him to return to practice as soon as next week. And the Vikings have announced that wide receiver and kick returner Rondale Moore will miss the entire 2025 season with a left knee injury that he sustained during Saturday's preseason game with the Texans. That means he will now miss the 2024 and 2025 season, both with knee injuries. Do you want to hear the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to the Empower Home Team. Simply text your address to 800-763-3000. No phone call, just text your address to 800-763-3000. That's 800-763-3000. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay, 106.7 The Fan. All right, still taking your phone calls. Terry McLaurin was out at practice yesterday. James Cook signed this morning. And we're wondering, does it make you think that things about to happen here in Washington? Will it come out in the next few days that Terry McLaurin has signed? What you think, Jay?
I think we're getting to the time where
they go out to handle their business or get off the pot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Fish or cut bait. You know what I'm saying? Our guy Drew from the Eastern Shore is on the line. What up, Drew? You feeling good? Feeling better? Feeling different?
I feel good. I'm not dreaming about it. So,
Yeah, we got to talk about this
sign.
AAA poll of the day, Landfill. Anyway.
Yeah. But I believe that Terry on the sideline yesterday was a good sign, and it was so good that I decided for the new van wrap, I'm going with Terry on that side. So
there you go.
I think they're signing the deal.
I like it, Drew. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, take care.
We got Ted in Waldorf. Ted, you feeling better? Feeling worse? Feel the same? Where you at?
I feel worse because I honestly think AP is going to let Terry walk because Terry's not one of his people. He's turned the entire roster over except for a few carryovers, but everybody he's carried over, he's got 1 or 2 years left. He's going to let him walk. And I honestly think because Terry is not his man, he's going to let him walk to somebody else.
Why? I think people. I know we always say they didn't draft them, but you got a damn good player that works very well with your quarterback. I don't know. And then they're gonna let him walk. When this year, next year, what?
No, they're gonna make him play out his contract this year, and then they're gonna let him walk next year. If they don't let him walk, they're gonna franchise tag him, and then he's gonna be 32, 33 years old, and then they know he ain't gonna get no money.
Ted?
Yeah.
They got a deal done with Sam Cosmi last year. They didn't draft Sam Cosmi.
All right, but give me how many people are left over from the old regime?
They just gave Revo an extension and they gave Butler an extension. They didn't draft him.
Okay, so you got about what?
I would also ask Ted,
players.
How many of those dudes should still be around?
I agree with you. Again,
of the roster turnover, how much of it was deserved?
You got a GM coming in, and he wants to put his mark on this team, and he wants all of his people.
I don't necessarily does a GM want to put his mark on the team? Yes. But I also think it's important when they rolled in, they didn't just fire everybody that was here, scouting staff, GM staff. There are people still around. I think you've got a staff that understands who's good and who isn't. And I find it hard to believe that they would want to dismiss a dude like Terry just because they didn't draft him. Now, what you said about the age and like letting him play out this contract and franchising him next year, that is a more reasonable discussion. Like, that is the hard-ass route they could go. But I don't think it's because they didn't draft Terry McLaurin. Because you know what happens last year? They don't beat Detroit or Tampa without Terry McLaurin. They don't get to the NFC title game without Terry McLaurin.
Mm-hmm.
And
You don't take Mr. Commander and put him through this in this year. Unless you got an ulterior motive.
If they had drafted somebody, say at 29 when they took Connerly, if they had drafted Luther Burden or a receiver there, I think you might have more of an argument. Or if they now they did trade for Debo, but Debo's a different kind of player. I hear what you're saying. I don't share your pessimism. How about that?
Debo came from San Fran. Where did AD come from? He came from San Fran.
I hear you. Let's see what happens.
Ken Law, where did he come from? He came from San Fran.
Well, he was in San Fran at one point.
He was with the Jets.
He came from the Jets.
But, Ted, I'm not dismissing what you're saying. I want to be clear. I think reasonable people can disagree but respect the opinion. That's where I land on what you're saying.
I hope they sign him today.
But I appreciate the call. I appreciate you listening, man.
My pleasure. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care, dude. Phone lines are hot. Mike is in Ashburn.
Woo.
Is this White Mike? Hello, Mike. How are you?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
We're good, dude. You feeling any better?
I feel indifferent, honestly. I'll tell you if I'd feel better. I think it's an aging issue. I don't think it's an AP or a McLaurin issue. I think it's an aging issue. I'm not real keen on this guy, and I've kind of followed a little bit about who his players were. I think this is his big payday, and he's putting his heels in. I think if it was Terry's decision, which I know ultimately it is, but I think he's getting some bad advice, and I think it'd be done a lot sooner if he got rid of the agent or switched agents. I think he's the issue.
You know what? I hear that, and people can say it because Terry is his biggest client. When agents are not like that, mean agents doing their damn job at a high clip, and the agent is supposed to try to get the most for his player. If agents just go along with everything a damn team says, then that agent's no good.
I think the agent people are mad at because they want somebody to be mad at, and they're not going to be mad at Terry. Like, if you're a Burgundy and Gold fan, you're not going to be mad at Terry, and you're not going to be mad at AP. AP just drafted Jaden Daniels. The team just delivered their best season in 25 years, whatever it was, and you love Terry. So you got to find somebody to be mad at, and bang, the agent is the conduit between the two, and that's who you decide to be mad at. He also does have a job to do, and that's trying to get the most cash for his client. I think if this gets to week one and there's really an actual holdout, I think that is when things become more reasonable to direct your invective at, the agent or whatever. But, I don't think it's going to get there, man. I woke up feeling optimistic, Mike. I don't know about you.
Nobody else had that dream you did, Jay.
I don't know if optimistic's a good. I never thought it would get this long, but I also don't think it's going to get to week one. And I don't blame AP one single bit. AP's got a lot of guys you got to worry about, and they got a master plan. And of course, Terry's a big part of it. But I also think he's got to worry about down the road other players and other things he's got to do. So I don't blame AP once at all. I mean, I blame more Terry than that. And I know he's a good guy, and he's a good player, et cetera, et cetera. But I think AP's got bigger fish to fry as far as running the whole organization than he does one player.
Yep. But I can be honest with you. I'll say this last thing. What Terry is trying to get now ain't going to have nothing to do with down the road because they're going to have way more salary cap. And then Terry whole contract will be done by then.
Yeah. I appreciate the call, Mike. Appreciate you listening, man. Where do you want to go, B?
Wherever.
South? Should we go to Mississippi?
That's cool.
KT in Mississippi. KT, you feeling better? Is anybody feeling better? Am I on an island?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, brother?
I always enjoy listening to you. Listen, I feel the same, and this is how I felt. It wasn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I think Terry, because Terry understands, hey, I got to play. Worst case scenario, play out this contract. Terry's not going to miss any games. And I think he's not going to miss any games because he wants to see his team be successful. Just get it done. That's where I am, man. Just get it done. He's been the face before Jaden. I look at Terry like this.
if you look at woodwork, Terry is the glue that hold those two pieces of wood together. But Jaden is that clamp that makes sure the two woods don't come apart. Get Terry signed. Give Jaden his weapons. I'm happy that they were talking. It's like, but hey, let's get it done. If even if it wasn't talking, I still feel the same way. It ain't a matter of if, but when it gets done.
I like that, KT. Thanks for listening down south, bud. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
I that's consistent, I think, with what we've said, Brian,
Yeah.
is we think it's a win, not an if. And my stance really hasn't changed on that. I just feel like we're getting closer to win territory.
I'll take win.
WHEN would be a WIN. Quentin is in Bethesda. What's up, Q?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy to be back, and I'm not too worried. This just goes to show what I've been saying is that when you're a real number one, it happens quick. And unfortunately, with Terry, he's a great receiver. Like I said, in BMitch hates me, hand catcher or body catcher. But at the end of the day, I think a deal will get done, but we cannot pay him over 33. Like, realistically, he's a great receiver and all that, but I take a little bit more than Debo. I would give him a little more than Debo, but I couldn't give him 33 plus. Like, that's just crazy for Terry. Sorry, y'all.
All good, man.
I do hate the fact that you say how he catch it because I don't think it says hand. I don't think when you see reception, it don't say hand or chest, does it? It say reception, right?
But for my number one receiver, I gotta be sure every single time, even though he.
I don't think there's a receiver in the history of the NFL that caught the ball with their hands every damn time.
But just for the respect that as a fan, I gotta be sure with my number one.
Nah, all I want him to do is catch the damn ball. I don't care how he catch it.
I would also add.
I know a lot of guys try to catch with their hand and get knocked out their hands.
True. That's true.
I care about him catching the damn ball.
I also don't think it's going to be 33, dude. So if your concern is, I'm not sure he catches it the right way to make 33 mil, I wouldn't equate those two things.
Debo is a hand. I was man. Metcalf is a damn body catcher.
Thank you for the call, Q.
As long as you,
We're up against it, brother.
Of course.
Phone lines are lit up. If you're on there, stay there. Jeff, answer the folks still calling. We're going to take your calls. Dwayne, Alex, Joe. We're coming right back. It's BMitch and Finlay, shot out of a cannon on a Wednesday morning.
Hey, it's Brian Mitchell here. On Tuesday, August 26th, is Fan Day Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all your football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Who's your pick for MVP? And crown your Super Bowl champion when it comes in August. You can do it in August. Who is your pick to win the Super Bowl? So what I look at, I'm still going with Lamar to come back and redeem what he should have got this year. They gave it to Allen. I don't think Allen should have got it. But let's say we'll go with Lamar. When you come to the Super Bowl picks, it's kind of hard to go against Kansas City. But when you look at the NFC, will the Eagles be as good as they were? Well, they already lost one offensive lineman. We don't know what will happen to them. Or you can parlay your division winner, dark horses. Mark your calendars, and this is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. So visit FanDuel app today and start planning on your future bets now. Because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. You have to be 21 years old and present in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BMitch and Finlay, 1067 The Fan. James Cook got a new deal in Buffalo. Terry McLaurin was at practice yesterday. It's that time of year where deals get done in the NFL. Are we feeling better? All football talk on 1067 The Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, definitely not Jeff Walker, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Let's hit these phones. Alex and Lorton been on hold the longest. Alex, you feeling better about Terry?
Hello, JP and BMitch. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I definitely feel better. It's nice when people are talking. At least I don't think there's any bad blood between them. And I think the deal is getting done by the end of the August or first week of September, around $28 to $29 million. And just the people saying, oh, he's from the previous regime, he's going to let him walk. I think that's kind of like a bit of like stupid argument. Like, he's one of the best players. Why would AP let him walk just because he did not bring in the team? And AP knows ball, and they know what they have on him. And he said it multiple times. Like, he has the second most touchdowns in every game. When Jaden needed somebody, Terry was there. He was crucial against Saints, against Buccaneers, against Detroit, against Bengals. So I definitely believe we need him for 2 or 3 more years, because the wide receiver market, like, there's nobody else there to go and get it. All of them renewed their contract. We don't have any more trade capital. And even if we draft a top receiver, I don't expect like somebody right away to hit big times. It's going to take time to develop. So, yeah, that's pretty much. I expect by the end of August, beginning of September, the deal to be done.
Word.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, Alex. Alex feels good. What about Dwayne and Bowie? Dwayne, you feeling better?
How you doing, guys?
We're good, man. How are you?
Okay, so 2 real quick points. One is, can we just stop talking about Terry holding out? You're not going to hold out because you're still under contract. I don't see him holding out trying to lose money at the same time trying to get more money. Where I'm from, that's called hustling backwards. You can't do that. He's going to play, but he's going to play as a disgruntled employee. That's the bottom line.
Not if he gets a new
Second
deal.
point. Right. Well, that's true. Second point. Then if you own a company and there's a guy, let's say John, who is your go-to guy. He does everything you want him to do. Matter of fact, he does overtime with no complaint. Don't you think sometimes you will make an exception for John? Like, John will call you, Danny, I can't make it a day. They say, oh, John, don't worry about it. Take the day off. So my point is, in every company, in every business, exceptions are made. Maybe once a year, maybe once in a lifetime. This is the time the commanders need to make that exception. Because now we're seeing something good. You don't want to upset that apple cart. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Thanks, bud.
All right, man. Good way of putting it.
Yeah, I don't think we get to the upsetting the apple cart stage. Let's go to Big T. Big T, you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better because it wasn't nothing to feel because he ain't gone nowhere. He's still on our team. He's still a part of our team. And I don't know why everybody want to throw out there that he's getting traded. Everybody does that. Every team does that. All players does that. He gonna get whatever he gonna get, and we gonna be fine. Everybody need to pump their brakes.
All right, baby.
All right, Big T. Big T has spoken, Landfill.
Yeah. Pump y'all brakes.
Chris is in Arlington. Chris, you feeling better?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I feel great. The reason it is not a good one, it's because if everyone was watching what I was watching in the preseason, we are definitely lacking depth at wide receiver. So, no go out there and flash in the preseason like they did last year. No one really showed up in that regard. So, I know we got some rookies and some second-year guys that could turn into something good, but we don't have that right now. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Appreciate you, bud. Yeah, man. They do need Terry for lots of reasons, but yeah, what we've seen hasn't been great. Pat is in Mechanicsville. Pat, feeling better? Feeling worse? How you feeling? Got a cold?
I feel all right. I feel all right. My thing is I want him to go ahead and sign him
as soon as possible because I think it's going to take, I like to have him on the field for a couple of weeks before the season starts, to get in shape. And you watch how fast his ankle heals once he gets signed that contract. He's going to be running all AP to bank. I give him $30 million a year for 3 years, and I give him $65 to $70 million guaranteed. And let's just get this thing done. Hey, I got a thing. Let's get it done before Monday night's football game so we can just concentrate on the team and get all this stuff behind us and let's get ready to roll this year, man. BMitch, he's still a Hall of Famer to me, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, Pat. Monday's BMitch's birthday. Maybe they get it done there.
Yeah, give me a birthday present. That's what I'm looking for.
There's somebody named Jaden on the line. Jaden, you feeling better?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
We got you.
Awesome. Yeah, I hate saying it. I just don't really care, and I don't get why it's such a big deal. He's under contract for this year, and who's the best receiver out of the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs? What, Zay Flowers? And those are three of the best teams in the NFL. Like, I think receivers are a little overvalued, so he's going to play this year. We don't need, if we sign him, cool. If we don't, this is his last year, and we can draft a receiver in the first round the following year. I just don't get kind of the big fuss as to the whole situation. We've seen, like, 10 receivers in the last 2 years come in the league as rookies and dominate. So if we sign them, cool. If we don't, this is his last year, and we draft a receiver. I think all the best teams in the league.
There's a lot of busts at receivers in the first round, too.
You talk as if they don't have any that come into the league and they're busts. That don't dominate. So everyone you see that dominate, you got about 5 to 10 that don't dominate.
But I'm saying, right, but who are the best two receivers out of those three teams, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs?
I hear what you're saying.
You talking about three guys with exceptional quarterbacks.
When those quarterbacks were younger, Lamar was kind of unique because he ran a lot more when he was younger. He's more of a refined passer now. But Allen, they traded for Diggs. And Pat, that first Super Bowl, you forget about a fella named Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
I think this is about you've got a rookie contract and a stud receiver, and I think that could change over time. So I hear what you're saying, but you're looking at now versus then, and I think then versus then is the more apt comparison. Thank you for the call,
yeah,
Jaden.
I mean,
we got a boogie, man. We're super late.
I love the people that just act like everything is just so simple. Let's just get rid of them and get somebody else. They're gonna be great. It don't work like that.
I just pulled up some first-round picks. There have been 3 receivers drafted 5th overall in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase, that's a hit.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Corey Davis?
Who?
What about Justin Blackmon?
Who?
See,
that's what I mean by people throw out stuff and don't have nothing to back it.
7th overall, Mike Williams.
He's all right. He wasn't Jamar Chase.
Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer.
Evans, yes.
Kevin White.
Titans?
Darius Hayward-Bay. He's a Terp.
Yeah, he was great. No, he wasn't.
That was an Al Davis pick. He was very fast.
Very fast.
That's what I'm saying. But
Troy Williams.
This is what I'm saying.
Also very fast. Vikings.
Stop throwing out stuff without facts to back it.
9th overall picks in the last 20 years that have been wide receivers. John Ross, Ted Ginn, Reggie Williams, and Corin Robinson.
I believe John Ross was also extraordinarily fast.
I think he set a new record of the 40. Drafting a first-round receiver doesn't guarantee they're going to be good. Terry's good now. When we come back, Neil Greenberg joins the show.
This Sports Update is brought to you by Main Street Bank. Cheer local, bank local. Running back James Cook and the Bills have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $48 million contract extension that includes $30 million guaranteed. Now, Cook signed this new deal just before practice this morning. It links him with the team through the 2029 season. And Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer went viral for some Venmo payments that he made. These pictures circulated on social media, and they showed Mateer sending money twice to another account with the caption "sports gambling" and a matchup. Now, Mateer obviously denied that he was gambling on sports, but he claimed that these posts were an inside joke between friends. NCAA rules ban active college athletes from gambling on any sport that they sponsor at any level. If found to gamble on their own sport, but being played at another school, the athlete could face a 6-game suspension. Main Street Bank is a business-focused community bank proudly serving the DMV since 2004. Visit M Street Bank to learn how to put our team in your office. Main Street Bank, member FDIC, equal housing opportunity lender. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
R.I.P. Ozzy. All right, folks, time to get to the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude is the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. Talk to our friend, Mr. Neil Greenberg, sports writer, analytics, fantasy, betting for the Washington Post. You can read all of his work at WashingtonPost.com. Greenberg, what's up, dude?
I'm doing great. How's everybody there?
We're chilling, brother.
So I had a dream about Terry McLaurin that he was getting his contract pretty close to done. I then, see the news that James Cook signed a deal with the Bills, ending his holdout and hold in and whatever else. We're getting to that time of year where deals start to get done. How do you feel like this thing is closer, further, the same? Where do you think Washington is with Terry?
I think we're further because the organization got a little bit of a boost with the Cortland Sutton deal, and I think that derailed McLaurin's hopes of getting anywhere near like 27, 28, 29 million per year average value. My question would be, is there nothing to be done with the term and the guaranteed money? I mean, because that's really all that matters. Is there no way that you can front load it to give him extra money? Is there? It just seems like there should be a lot of wiggle room, especially with the way the NFL salary cap is. But I think more importantly, the organization really painted themselves in a corner, talking about the commander's tag and what it means to be a commander and the people that they want here, et cetera, et cetera. And as I said before, if Terry McLaurin doesn't fit that box, then probably nobody does. And you have to figure out what that is worth.
Yeah.
If you're saying that Terry McLaurin at 30 years old is worth $25 million a year, based on his age and where they expect him to go, et cetera, that's fine. But there has to be a premium for him being the guy that fits all the other traits that you want off the field. And it doesn't seem to me, from everything that I've heard and read, that that's happening, and I think that's a shame.
I guess we will kind of just watch it unfold. It's an interesting time because we all know deadlines drive the deals. I wanted to – you had a couple of things that I found really interesting. And I want to start, as we're getting closer and closer to the NFL season, you're looking at the entire league where you can find an edge, where you can find a winner, whatever it is. Survivor pools are one of the most popular things among NFL fans. And you said, I think this is pretty interesting, you think the Commanders going up against the Giants could be one of the most popular Survivor picks week 1. Now, most Survivor pools are not against the spread. You just have to pick a winner. How did you land on that, and why?
Well, I'm just looking. I'm looking at the spreads of the Week 1 games, and there's only a couple that fall outside the 1 to 2.5 point favorites. You have the Eagles favored by 6.5 at home. You have the Commanders favored by 6.5 at home. You have the Cardinals favored by 5.5 on the road, and the Bengals favored by 5.5 on the road, and then the Broncos favored by 7.5. So that's it. So there's only like a handful of big favorites that you can look at. If you're in a survival pool, everything else is a pretty narrow 1 to 2.5 point spread, which is relatively a coin flip. I don't think anyone's going to be looking to stake their survivor future in the week 1 on a might be. I think the Eagles are obviously a top team. People are going to want to save them. I think that Arizona beating the Saints might be something that people look for because Arizona is not going to have a lot of opportunities to be this big of a favorite. The Bengals will be a team that people save, and I think Denver. I don't know if you want to burn Denver necessarily. So I think Washington could be one of the more intriguing ones because a lot of people are down on the Giants. And I think people are going to worry that Washington, has a stronger schedule. There won't be that many opportunities for them to be big favorites. So I think that they might be one of the more popular teams in Week 1.
It's funny looking at the Week 1 matchups, B. We're inside of a month of this. Cowboys-Eagles is the Thursday nighter. Chiefs-Chargers is the Friday nighter from Brazil. Then Sunday you got just a ton of games, including Commanders hosting the Giants. The national TV game, Lions-Packers. The Sunday night game is Ravens-Bills. And then you get Vikings-Bears on Monday Night
Football. Games you'd rather be leery of. A lot of those games, people not going to want to touch them. Rival game.
Yeah.
Dude, I would think Broncos over Titans would be the most popular survivor pool pick.
It might, but it might be. I think though that Washington would be up there. I don't know if I don't know if a lot of people believe in Denver that much.
I believe in that defense.
I do too. But again, it's Week 1 in Survivor tends to be very chalky, as close to a slam dunk as you can possibly get. And I just think people would view beating the Giants as a more likely situation than Denver beating the Titans.
Interesting.
Just
Titans,
anecdotally, right?
Rookie quarterback, right?
Titans rookie quarterback.
Just thinking about it. Just thinking about the game anecdotally. A lot of people are down on the Giants, and I just think that's a, for lack of a better term, a quote unquote easy win for Week 1. That's just how I see it going.
So the other thing you posted that I wanted to get to is kind of how you see the NFL for this season. I just dropped this in the text thread if you want to look at it, B. You have 4 teams that you qualify as elite: Ravens, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs. Of those 4, who do you think is the most likely? B asked me this the other day. Who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? And I named Bills, Chiefs, Eagles certainly are still loaded. I kind of like the Rams. Of those 4 that you see as elite, who do you think is most likely to win the Super Bowl?
Buffalo. I think Buffalo is a really good team. They've been good for a while. I don't think any team is more on the hot seat to win it than Buffalo. I think that they're under the most pressure to win, just based on what they've done as of late. But I do think that they're a good team. I think Philadelphia might have a tougher path. Kansas City, I do believe they're on the downside. Now, that downside is coming off elite seasons, so they're going from like really great to really, really good. And Baltimore, something weird happens with Lamar Jackson in the postseason. Like, I can't explain what it is. The numbers start to crater, and he's just a different different person in the playoffs. So it's tough to pick Baltimore. So if I have to go from those four, I'd probably say Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo, they've been good for a while. Okay, they haven't gotten it done. What's their receiving core this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question, but who's their quarterback, right? I mean, like that, Josh Allen can smooth over a lot of cracks.
I understand that, but Josh Allen is a guy who puts himself in harm's way a lot. And just like running back who gets hit a lot, he got hit a lot last year. He tries that consistently over the years. That body's going to give up on him. We thought Ben Roethlisberger was invincible. It quickly showed us that he wasn't.
Khalil Shakir had a good year for the Bills last year. I think they want to see more out of Keon Coleman. The Amari Cooper thing clearly didn't work. But, yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, the Bills don't have these weapons that jump off the page at you. I mean, getting James Cook back was clearly very important for them. I mean, he went for like 1,300 yards from scrimmage. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at the Bills roster, I think they have a good defense. I like the way they get after the passer. You lose Von Miller. I don't know how they'll replace that. But of skill positions, I think the Bills and the Chiefs have the two weakest groups of the teams you put as the Elite Four. Eagles clearly have the best, and then I'd probably put the Ravens just having Derrick Henry. I don't know.
But I'd also say Buffalo's path to the Super Bowl is probably easier through the AFC, right?
The AFC East, anyway.
Yeah, because Philadelphia, has to deal with Detroit, Washington, Green Bay, San Francisco. Like, there's just a lot of really good teams in the NFC too. So I think that does play into it in some way.
The Bills, to get to a Super Bowl, most likely are going to have to beat Lamar and Mahomes. Or you could say that for any of those teams. Like for Lamar to get to the Super Bowl, most likely you got to take out Allen.
Right.
And hell, Burrow might pop up there. You never know.
Right. Your next tier down, you listed these as legit Super Bowl contenders. The top was elite. This is legit. Detroit, Washington, Green Bay, Denver, San Fran, and the Rams. Of that group, who do you think's most likely to pop and win a Super Bowl?
I like Denver this year. I like them as an upside. I like Green Bay. I think as long as Jordan Love is healthy, they have a lot of interesting things going on that they can surprise. Detroit is obviously like the chalky type pick. Washington, I'm really excited about Washington's season because no one knows anything about what's going to happen. Like we just don't know. It's year two of a really good quarterback. They added Deebo Samuel. Who knows what's going to happen with McLaurin? Who knows what the defense is going to look like? Year two of the coaching staff. Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on that me as an analytics person just can't model. Like the art science, ratio for Washington is way more art in just terms of, having to think through what's going to happen. I don't really have concrete numbers on, what I think is going to happen or with any type of certainty. So I'd have to put Washington in that mix because, what if it gets better? Like, what if season 2 is better than season 1 despite the tougher schedule? That's an interesting proposition. I mean, what if Jay Daniels is better? What if McLaurin's back? What if McLaurin plus Deebo makes a really interesting situation? What if Daniels' running ability really helps the overall running game? And they have Eckler to catch passes and B-Rob to run it north and south. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that can happen that's really good for Washington, and they're really intriguing as an upside play.
The strength of schedule comes from what people did the year before, probably, right?
Yes.
What if, we see teams that were great one year don't be great the next year?
That's right. I mean,
so we expect Washington to have a tough schedule. What if some of those teams not like they were last year?
You're absolutely right. Like, what if, Jalen Hurts is a great example. Jalen Hurts might be one of the most polarizing players in the NFL in terms of how good people think he is. And what if the naysayers are correct this year? Or what if he gets hurt and Philadelphia finds himself out of the picture? Washington immediately becomes the NFC East frontrunner. And then, like you said, that's 2 games that they get to play against Philadelphia. And what if, some of the other teams that they have to play just don't make it happen? That's possible. All this stuff is possible. That's why I think NFL is so great because, we have 1 week of games and then we get to talk about it and figure out what's going to happen the rest of the way. This is an intriguing season because you have, we just talked about Buffalo, Kansas City getting older and maybe not as good as they used to be. So how much of these are legacy type picks? Philadelphia is coming off a strong season, but again, their quarterback is polarizing. Washington, Detroit, we talked about. I mean, there's just a lot of different scenarios that can play out.
Talking with our friend Neil Greenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. You can follow Greenberg at @ngreenberg. Read all of his work at the Washington Post. One team I think I am less bullish on than a lot of others is the Niners. You have the Niners in your legit category. Why do you still feel like the Niners, even after a down year last year, still feel like the Niners are a Super Bowl contender? I mean, that team went 6-11 last year.
Yeah, that was injuries, though. I mean, they just had a lot of injuries that they were dealing with to really good players. I have to assume that everyone's going to be healthy, for all teams and all players.
Neil, is yes, it was injuries, but a lot of these guys are still injured. They're talking about Ayuk maybe for week 6. A lot of it is, you get Christian McCaffrey back healthy, right? McCaffrey's played 1 full season in the last 4. He's played 2 full seasons in the last 7. To me, his talent is unreal, but you've got a lot of dudes there that get injured.
Yeah, but you still might have Brock Purdy and George Kittle, and like you said, maybe you have a healthy McCaffrey, and then you have Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan drawing up plays. Sometimes that's enough. We talked about the importance of the quarterback. If you get anything close to what Purdy's been with some healthy players around him, they're going to figure out how to make it work. So I definitely think that they lean more towards contender than they do non-contender. Now, again, if McCaffrey's hurt, if losing Debo ends up being really big, I mean that's all something that could work out. But I give San Francisco the benefit of the doubt. I know the betting markets are giving them the benefit of the doubt. The fantasy footballers are giving them the benefit of the doubt. So I think that they deserve to be considered contenders until we see something different.
I think offensively, they've been good without McCaffrey because he's not always in there. So they can be good like that. Their defensive guys are healthy. They can be a problem for people.
Sure. And they've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 6 years. So, there's a reason. And the NFC Championship game in 2 of the last 6 years. So there's obviously a lot of talent there. I don't know, man. To me, I think McCaffrey is a fade. I big picture tells me a lot there. Detroit, Dan Campbell starting to push back on people saying, we lost both coordinators. Dan Campbell's like, yeah, we're still here. How do you land on the Lions?
I think they could be really good. They have a lot of young talent. They know how to use it, and I get that they lost their guys, and their guys are elsewhere. But you also learn what works, right? It's not like Detroit can't use their players in a similar situation that found success. I don't see how you could be an offensive coordinator coming into Detroit and being like, all right, we have so many things that we have to change. It's just going to be more of, all right, well, it ain't broke. We're not going to fix it. Let's just, make some stuff happen, add some new wrinkles here and there. But, I don't see them tinkering with it all that much. So I think as long as they're healthy, they should be really good in the NFC.
Well, you can't speak of injuries without Detroit. Detroit had almost 20 guys.
Their defense
injured throughout the season. They were depleted and still were in the divisional round.
Yeah, now they've lost some key guys on the offensive line to injuries and retirement. But look, this happens. I mean, this happens every year. Every year, guys are hurt and traded and retire, et cetera. But I think Detroit's in a decent spot. In terms of talent, coaching, schedule, what they need to do. I think that they're going to be just fine.
Greenberg, football is coming, man. I'm excited. Thank you for the time.
No, we talked a lot about football. I love it. No more football, less contracts.
Yes, sir. All right, see you, buddy.
Be cool, brother.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
That's our guy, Neil Greenberg. When we come back, what makes a prototypical quarterback in the NFL in the year 2025? Nobody go anywhere.
This sports update is brought to you by the Reynolds and Power Home Team, Keller Williams Realty. Jordan Love is undergoing surgery to fix a torn ligament in his left thumb. Love suffered the injury to his non-throwing hand after hitting a helmet during Sunday's preseason loss to the Jets and was seen wearing tape around the thumb at Monday's practice. The good news, though, for the Packers is that they expect him to return to practice as soon as next week. And the Vikings have announced that wide receiver and kick returner Rondale Moore will miss the entire 2025 season with a left knee injury that he sustained during Saturday's preseason game with the Texans. That means he will now miss the 2024 and 2025 season, both with knee injuries. Do you want to hear the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to the Empower Home Team. Simply text your address to 800-763-3000. No phone call, just text your address to 800-763-3000. That's 800-763-3000. From the Quat MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay, 1067.
That song
The
was
Fan.
made a long time ago, bro. What are you talking about today?
Russia and China, too.
Yeah, if you listen to it, it got a lot of different things in there.
Getting on the love train.
Mm.
All right. If you're watching us on the stream, I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody on the stream. BMitch is waving to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what's up to Tay. Tay's the last comment I see in there. What up, everybody?
What up, Tay?
Locked on Law, Rakesh Mystery, everybody on there. Appreciate you. Steve Young, to me, is one of the
realist.
Well, of his playing career, I'd say he's one of the greatest kind of overlooked quarterbacks.
I don't know if he was overlooked, Jay.
I think his level of play, Joe Montana was the guy, and then he was in the USFL. Right.
Yeah.
But Steve Young is one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Is my point.
True.
I love the clip when they're just beating the hell out of the Chargers and one of his teammates lifts the monkey off his back. I thought that was cool. You know who was called plays for the Chargers that year?
Who?
Ralph Friedgen.
Wow.
Bobby Ross was a coach.
Big Ralph.
Your boy at QB for the Chargers.
My boy?
Yeah. You don't remember?
Humphreys?
Yeah.
Stan?
Yeah.
If Stan, he could toss it around the yard.
What was Stan like?
Stan was a Louisiana boy. Cool as hell.
Where'd he go to school?
Northeast.
A lot of Louisiana boys.
Yeah.
Something different in the
He
booth.
got work when he came down there dealing with them Cajuns, though. He got work.
Did you remind him of that?
All the time.
I imagine
All
you
the
did.
time.
I imagine you did.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. We talk about, 70% completion percentage is kind of where you need to be among the best quarterbacks now.
Mm-hmm.
In 1994, Steve Young completed 70% of his passes, 35 touchdowns against 10 picks, 4,000 passing yards as the Niners went 13-3, and I believe won the Super Bowl that year. So,
yeah, Steve was good, man. And Steve would run around all day on you, too.
and I think when Steve Young talks now, especially about quarterback play, I think it's worth listening to. And when Steve Young talks about Jaden Daniels, it's certainly worth listening to. Professor Landini, you have the honors.
Generally have this ability as things high. Look, that's the filter for quarterbacks. How many quarterbacks you see when it gets tight? They're, oh my gosh, and then their game gets smaller. They don't do as much. Their athleticism starts to disappear. Their mind starts to speed up, and they can't process the way they did. And some people are just built different, and he's built that different. You can see it. And in today's game, he is the ultimate prototype. He is threatening the line of scrimmage every play.
Yeah. I agree with him, but I think you don't have to be in that same package because I believe a guy who still does it and has done it at a high level already does that same thing, and that's Pat Mahomes. Pat you don't look at Pat and say he could kill you with his legs, and every game he kills people with his legs. And he could push it down the field, and you saw, like you said, he got rid of Tyreek. They went to the Super Bowl again.
They won it.
You know?
Twice.
They were there. Last year they lost. So I agree with Steve. But I think the person, and the thing about like a Josh Allen, Josh forces the run. And he's got to be careful because somebody's going to catch him. Because, see, Josh is big enough to where he is going to be fooled that he could run over a linebacker. And they're going to catch him.
Well, my thing with Jaden and some of the offensive struggles so far in camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the joint practices, in the red zone. I asked Jaden about it, and he's like, one, we're not game planning.
Yeah.
But the other thing he said is like, at the same time, I'm not going to run right now.
Yeah.
And until you're running.
No, I'm talking about when he decides to run.
I'm saying Jaden being the prototypical.
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, he changes the ball game right there. Because, like I mentioned to you the other day, when offense goes against defense, let's be real. They know he's not running, and they know nobody's cutting him. So what are they able to do? Pin their ears back and just go. Once that run comes into it, it changes the whole ball game. And once you can start putting the helmet on the side of that knee, they don't come as hard. I believe the same thing happens with Pat. Pat can sit in the pocket all day and pick you apart. But then you start creeping back, and then he'll run on you. Jaden is a way better runner than Pat. So people expect it, although they can't stop it. A guy that looks like Pat, he looks a little goofy. But every game you see him scramble for a first down, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. He runs down there with the ball, not even tucked, like he look like a little cartoon character, and gets it. I think Jaden can do that as well. I think it does at a high damn level, such a young guy.
I think one of the things that makes Jaden, why a guy like Steve Young would speak so highly of him, some of it is just there are certain like intangibles that quarterbacks have that Jaden has proven he has in 1 year. Like his poise and level of play late in games. You talk about putting the cape on.
Mm-hmm.
When he needs to, he could do it. And he can do it at a really, really high level.
Yeah.
The poise is just unteachable, uncoachable, something you're born with, and he has it.
Yep. Either you have it or you don't.
And then he's a really accurate passer.
Yep.
But it's also like corners really struggle to play true man coverage because if they're running and they flip their hips and they're facing down the field and Jaden sees it, he could just run where that corner was. And by and large, he can get past the defensive line, and whether it's gain 6 yards for a first down or take it 25 for a chunk play, that's what he could do.
Yeah. They can't make the right decision. You watching several games where when they get late in the game and they put that RPO in, where he puts it into the gut of the running back, and he's looking downfield, coming on the edge, the cornerback doesn't know what the hell to do. If you stop, he just tips it right by your ear. If you come up, he can drop it in quicker. You drop back, he's gone. Because the linebacker has to hesitate with the running back, even the DN. He's going to get outside most guys. So it's like a cheat code when it comes down to that.
I mean, I've heard time and time again, and perhaps it's right to a degree, that Washington can't have the same success on 4th down as they did last year. And I'm just understanding last year they broke records and were incredibly good at it. I don't see that as like a coin flip that just went their way last year.
No.
Like, there's a reason the Eagles are really good on 4th down. Because of the tush push. They've built something that works.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason the Bills are really good on 4th down. Because of Josh Allen, and they run their own version of the tush push. But Jaden, it's a different skill set. But when they run that like quarterback pull to the right side, and he gets those linemen on the move in front of him, and he needs a yard and a half, like I believe in that process. So that's why, like, when everybody's like, oh, well, the 4th down success won't be the same. It might not be exactly the same, but I don't think it's going to inverse either.
It could be the same level. They just get it in different ways. I would have to believe if a team goes against them in fourth down, they're saying, don't let number 5 run the ball. It was a team that tried that last year, and he threw it to somebody. You know, a lot of times you see a run pass option, and that's all it is. He can run it, pass it. He can throw it to the receiver outside. He can throw it to the tight end coming across. He has multiple areas to go to it. And you can't cover everybody at the same time. He makes it impossible for you. So let's say he ran 15 of them. It may be 5 passes this year and 10 runs. We never know. But I think when the team think that they got it, remember I told you about golf. When you think you got golf, it proves to you that you don't.
Right.
When they think they got a way to figure that out, they will find out you don't.
You know one thing I got that has changed my home? New garage door. And the folks at Door Pro America can set you up too. I'm telling you, I had an old beater garage door. It was loud. It was clanky. The folks at Door Pro America came over to my house, showed me a ton of different options. They had this like Photoshop application showing my house how it would look with different garage doors. I say we picked, but my wife picked a new one out. It looks great. It's increased the curb appeal, and it's got the MyQ app, so I can open and close my garage door from anywhere. It is a total game changer, and they could do the same for you. You need to hit up the people at Door Pro America. Whether you just need a repair, some maintenance, whatever it is you're looking for, you can hit them up, and they can take care of you. I just checked. My garage door is closed right now. Bang. It's supposed to be. Sometimes I leave it open because I'm an idiot. But if you're an idiot like me, you can get alerts if you leave the door open too long. Give them a call today. 877-DOOR-PRO. That's 877-DOOR-PRO. Tell them JP Finlay sent you. Or you can check them out now at doorproamerica.com. Relax yourself. BMitch Finlay, 1067 The Fan. We got PGA Golf up in Baltimore. We're going to talk about that at 12:30. Caves Valley, baby. Our guy Jeff Walker, boots on the ground, part of the BMitch Finlay I team. Jeff sent us some videos this morning driving by RFK Stadium. Is RFK on your normal route to work, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you notice this morning?
They were starting to tear down the stadium, like from the outside. They were taking things from the inside, but they're starting to knock it down. They have water being sprayed so stuff don't fly everywhere, but it's happening.
Now, I do think it's important to point out that was the plan regardless, was to tear it down.
Yeah.
But it's super encouraging. They voted for it. Now they're tearing it down. It's sad to see it go, but that joint has to come down.
It's not sad to see it go.
Right. It'd be sad to see it go if they hadn't voted to rebuild it.
Yeah, we kind of knew. You and I went over there, 2 years ago now? And
maybe
saw it.
more,
They've been tearing it down from the inside out. And like I said, they are not going to just implode it like which many people think they should have done, because that water's right there, the risk of asbestos being spread all over the place, and whatever else could be there. So they're going to take it down, and now, I'm glad they're getting to the outside, because, hell, as long as it's up and you can't build nothing else there, I'm glad they're tearing it down.
Me too. Now, Jeff, what was the most interesting part of your investigative reporting?
I was just excited when I come down the street, because I told you I told B, when I was coming down, I just seen like smoke rising, but I thought it was I'm like, hold on, that's not fire. That don't even look like smoke. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they tearing down the stadium? I was like, yo, let's go. It's finally happening. Yo, because of all the things that happened, what is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't hear it. But of all the things,
I hear it too.
Yeah, of all the good things that happened in RFK and how everyone speaks about it, it's like we have Jaden now. He's going to be here when the stadium. We about to get back to them RFK glory days in the new chapter of the Washington franchise. I'm excited about it.
That's all terrific, Jeff, but I'm a little disappointed in your eye for investigation. There was not one minor detail that you couldn't help but notice?
Oh, you talking about the Smoot sign in front of it?
Hey, we didn't know Fred Smoot tore down the stadium.
Smoot Construction.
He can talk it down. He can just talk to the stadium. The stadium will just disappear. Like, damn, stop talking, Fred.
And it's my understanding we've got Fred Smoot on the line from Smoot Construction. Fred, how excited are you to be part of the demolition of RFK?
Well, first, let's get to Jeffrey after he lost that rap battle. How you ain't see Smoot name on front of that gate, Jeffrey? But I'm excited, boy. We're taking them boys back to D.C. Now it's the Washington Commanders playing in Washington. I'm excited for it, boys.
Now, Fred, it's also my understanding that Jeff continues, like he does with everyone, to challenge you to things he has no chance of winning. How did it go when Jeff tried to run some routes against you, Fred?
Well, I told Jeffrey to try to get off the line, and then I stuck my arm because I told him that he's not going to be able to catch the ball. I'm just too long. This boy from Mississippi is just too long.
And Jeff, how'd it go for you when you tried to run some routes against Fred? Then be honest, you're part of the I team.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I tried to run. This man put his hand in my chest, and I couldn't go nowhere. So I tempered my expectations. Instead of catching 3 balls that I thought I was gonna catch, I'm gonna bring it down to 1.
Out of how many?
10.
That's 10%, Jeff.
Bro, I'm not a professional. This is pros versus Jeff.
We need to make it 1 out of. We need 5. Fred can't run 10 times against nobody right now.
If he can't run 10 times against me, that's sad.
He got bad feet, bad knees. He old now.
I don't think Jeff can run 10 times against Fred.
Who can't?
You.
Okay.
So the routes, I'm going to have to help him out a little bit. You can't try to catch no little quick off the ball where he don't check you.
Hold up.
You got to be past 10 yards.
I got to stand up for this. So y'all knew what my nickname was, right?
Yeah, Fat
Moss. So I'm at the scrimmage the other day.
I think file a grievance
I'm
against
at the scrimmage the other day. Nah, hold on. I'm at the scrimmage the other day, right? And when you walked up, me and Tanner was talking. Tanner was giving me a little pointers. He told me to hit my little step back and get around him. So it's possible. One? Y'all don't think I could get 1?
Not if you got to pass 10 yards.
What? See, are all routes past 10 yards? What if I give him a quick little da-da and get in the inside? That's one. He's a professional.
Landfill, how do you think it'll go if Jeff hits Fred Smoot with the da-da and gets inside?
It's not going to happen. I
Listen,
mean, Fred's like 45 at this point, and he would still wreck Jeff.
I heard Tanner telling you this, and when I saw him do it, when he showed you, and I saw you just did it, that's two opposite things, dog.
Oh, no, that's just because there's not enough
That
space
thing
right
you
here.
did
That's
with
it.
that back step, he going to be all up in your chest, dog.
Fred also gets to he's allowed to, like,
jam
you within 5 yards.
If he gets his hands
your
on it, it's
plan
over.
for something short, I think is flawed.
I know Jeff is a little more athletic than we give him credit for, but Fred played in the league for a decade, and when Jeff played football, he was a lineman. Fred was a DB in the league for a decade.
I played tight end as well. So I got a little education about getting open. I'm ready for it.
I don't think you are.
Only one. That's all I'm going to put it.
1 out of 10?
Yes.
1 catch.
JP.
Who's quarterbacking this affair?
I don't know. Probably Jaden. It's like, we're going to get BMitch.
B, would you quarterback this affair?
Yeah, he ain't catching none if I'm quarterback. I'm throwing him all over his head.
B throws gas.
I'm trying to find out what's going. If he don't catch none, what happens if you don't catch none?
Well, this is all going to be on camera, so if I get embarrassed, it will be shown. That's what's happening.
Well, I mean, I'll throw the ball to you, Jeff.
And
don't let none of them hit you in the face, because I'm gonna let that thing go now.
B.
Oh no, I'm gonna have a helmet on.
Oh, good.
Right. We're gonna be in shells.
I'm gonna let it fly.
I caught this too, but didn't want to say anything. I just got a tweet from Carl Grebe. Jeff tampered his expectations.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
I was talking too fast. My bad. Hey, look, I thought nobody caught it.
Oh, I caught it.
I think
I just let it go. I let it go. You know, see, I just let stuff go sometimes.
Coming up at
Paul
12:30.
said he wouldn't let me go.
At 12:30, we're going to preview Caves Valley PGA. What it's like the second leg of the playoff this weekend.
Yeah,
I know it's got a better title than that. Thank you, Landfill. We'll be right back.
This sports update is brought to you by Prince George's Community College. Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders reportedly saw an increase in reps during practice earlier this week following his multi-touchdown performance in the preseason opener. However, he didn't take part in either 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 drills in the Browns-Eagles joint practice today. His spot on the depth chart, it appears to be unchanged as coach Kevin Stefanski continues to sort out the plan with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel all ahead of him. Stefanski offered no update today on an updated depth chart or who's going to start in Cleveland's second preseason game. That's still a mystery. Chargers running back Najee Harris was seen running drills with a football for the first time in training camp yesterday, per ESPN. He reportedly did that off to the side with a trainer, but it had been more than a month since Harris sustained what's described as a superficial eye injury during the 4th of July fireworks mishap. Now, his agent has continued to insist that he's going to be ready for the start of the regular season. But if you ask the Chargers, well, they've been really hesitant to provide anything resembling a timetable for his return. So seeing him back on the practice field is a step in the right direction, but still no answer if he really is going to be ready for Week 1. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
Breaking news on The Fan. Commanders have released their jersey schedule for the 2025 season. I've learned a lot here, and I have one favorite pick for the Commanders jersey schedule.
What's that?
All right. So we know the new throwbacks they rolled out, the old uniforms, basically, the whites, are called the Super Bowl era uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We already knew this. They're wearing those, the 2 Sunday night football games, home against the Seahawks week 9, home against the Broncos week 13, and then Christmas Day against the Cowboys. I love that. Sunday night's the biggest platform in the NFL, and then Christmas Day against the Cowboys doesn't get any bigger.
Yep.
Do we know, are the Christmas Day games on Netflix? Are they on YouTube? I feel like that's been announced. I can't remember what it is.
It's Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, cool.
I kind of don't worry about what they own because I'm nominated all of them. So,
I know, sure. I'm just saying, like, speaking of the platform, how big that game is. All right, so real question for you, B. Of the current uniforms, and maybe they just invented this, maybe this already existed. Do you know the terms for the whites and the burgundies?
No.
I didn't either. So they call it the Monument White, which is the rebranded white jersey with the burgundy pants.
Okay.
So they're going to wear the Monument Whites. Week 1 against the Giants, Week 4 in Atlanta, Week 5 in L.A. They're going to wear the Monument Whites Week 8 Monday Night Football in Kansas City. They're going to wear the Monument Whites Week 11 in Madrid against the Dolphins.
All right.
Kind of cool. Week 14 against the Vikings, that's a road game. Week 15 is up in New York against the Giants. And then Week 18 is the Eagles. So they got...
How many total games are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're wearing the Monument Whites the most.
In 8 games?
8 games.
And then 3 games, the
3 games, the Super Bowl
throwbacks.
joints. Yeah.
Well, the Super Bowl era. And then the other 6 games is going to be what?
Hold your horses. Do you know what they call the burgundy jerseys? Legacy Burgundy.
Okay.
They're going to wear the burgundy joints week 2 in Green Bay on that Thursday nighter. Week 3 at home against the Raiders. Week 7 at Dallas.
All right.
Week 10 at home against the Lions. And week 16 against the Eagles.
All right. That's 4 games?
That's 5.
5 and then 1 game in the Blacks?
So they're wearing the burgundy at home against the Eagles, the whites on the road against the Eagles. So there's 1 game where they're wearing the Battle Blacks. and I think they nailed the selection.
Night game?
It's a night game.
Against?
Monday night against the Bears.
All right.
Do you know what they were wearing last year for the Hail Mary?
Yep.
I think anytime they're playing the Bears from here to eternity, wear the blacks. Like, if you go back to the old uniforms and you only keep the blacks around just to play the Bears in it, you have my full support.
Yeah.
Torture them with that. I hope that corner has a picture of the black uniforms in his locker.
He does. He might have them on his chest the way that they were handling him up there.
All right, so you have your official uniform release from the Washington Commanders. I thought this was pretty interesting. ESPN.com did a ceiling and floor for every NFL team. I've said repeatedly, I think the floor for this team is really high, and I think a lot of that is because it is Jaden Daniels driven. When you have a stud quarterback, like the Bengals last year had an awful defense, but Joe Burrow was so damn good they still won 9 games. They missed the playoffs, but like it's very rare, barring an injury, if you have a true stud quarterback that your team is awful.
Yeah, true about that.
Like things can break wrong, but if you have a true stud quarterback, you're probably getting to 9 wins. Injuries could always change everything.
Yep.
In this ESPN.com article, they said the floor for this team is 7-10.
For Washington?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading now from ESPN.com. This is written by John Keim, who I believe, John's joining us at 1 o'clock. The floor, they say, I'm just going to read what he says. Washington's offense will face more challenges playing 11 games against teams ranked in the top 13 scoring defenses last season. The Commanders need more from their defense, specifically in the fourth quarter. They ranked 18th in scoring and 13th in yards, though 30th in rushing yards per game. But in the fourth quarter, they ranked 28th or worse in 9 key categories. Their secondary should be much improved with the addition of rookie corner Trey Amos and a healthy Marshawn Lattimore. But the latter needs to be durable, something he hasn't been the past 3 years. A beefed-up defensive line with multiple key additions, including pass rusher Von Miller, needs to produce. When you see those fourth quarter numbers, don't you think Von Miller was brought here specifically to address some of that?
Yeah, because he talked about playing only a certain percentage of plays, which troubles him a little bit because he can't set people up. I guess he got to set him up a lot quicker now. Because he's not going to be getting more than 25%. I say 20%, 25.
One thing I found interesting was he said on Pardon My Take on PFT's podcast that he expects to play more here than he did in Buffalo. And so maybe that will help him.
How much he played in Buffalo?
I could try to pull up the snap counts. But I think you're right. I think it was around that 20% number.
If you want him for the fourth quarter, you're going to try to find a way to make sure he's there for the fourth quarter.
And maybe not on 1st and 10, but like I think this team wants Von Miller. Von Miller last year for the Bills played on 25% of snaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what that'll look like. I mean, what do you think is reasonable to push him to? 30, 35, a third of snaps?
Unless it's one day he's feeling real good and he's having a lot of success, let him roll. They'll take care of him in practice.
You got to treat him like
Andy say, see you on Wednesday. See you on Friday, Vaughn.
Right.
Say see you on Friday, and everybody thought, yeah, no. I'm talking about Vaughn. Not the
just 24. It's interesting, I think, because DQ really takes care of his guys during the week.
Yeah.
I think they'll know how to handle Vaughn, and I think if they can balance the snaps during the game so that it's more in the fourth quarter, I think that would help a lot. Like if you have this offense is good enough, I believe, that they're going to move the ball plenty. And so if you are up 10 and the opposing team gets the ball in the fourth quarter with 4.5 minutes, and maybe it's not true no huddle, but they're going to be going up tempo trying to get a score, that's Miller time, baby.
Yeah. I think he's the type of guy where, if you put him in the game early and he just has great success and he lets you know this guy can't block me, he may get a little bit more run. especially in the fourth quarter.
For sure.
In the fourth, I might say you want to go now. You want me to just let you loose in the fourth. Because if the guy you know can't block you, I'll take success early, but I damn sure want it late.
Now, one thing I have said repeatedly is I think the floor for this team is really high, and I think because of Jaden, the floor is really high. I think Terry McLaurin's availability impacts the ceiling of this team, how good they can be. Are we actually talking about the Super Bowl? Like, I think you need Terry on this team to get there.
I think it affects the ceiling and the floor. Because if he's not on the team, I think the floor is going to be a little lower than what we think it is, even though we have Jaden.
True. I mean, it's going to impact the offense.
Yep.
So the per ESPN, the floor is 7-10. The ceiling is 12-5. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, I think that. I think 12-5 is a hell of a record.
It's where they were last year.
Yeah.
Landini, what's your ceiling and what's your floor for these Washington Commanders?
I mean, I think the ceiling is, realistically something like 15-2 or 14-3.
Really? You think that high?
Yeah. And then assuming Jaden doesn't get injured, I would say the floor for me is at least 8 wins.
So I think I'm with you on the wins. I think 8 sounds about right. For you to go that high, you think this offense could just be dominant? Like, how do you get to 15-2 is a hell of a record, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's his Jaden's second year, and if the the secondary can kind of hold it together a little bit, they could be a lot better.
Secondary should be much improved. I think I'm with Landfill on the floor at like 8.
Yeah, 7-8 wins. That's the same for me right there. But 15-2 is a lot going on. 15-2 means you got a hell of a defense too.
If I would have let you guess who would have said 15-2,
I thought it would be Jeff.
I thought it would be Jeff too. Jeffrey, what's your ceiling? What's your floor?
He might be rubbing off on Landfill.
He's coming in undefeated.
Yeah, if Landfill taking 15-2, I'm taking 17-0. It's like, I don't know, man. I see us realistically like 13-4, because it's like, I just think with our division games, them games can go either way.
Agreed.
That I believe that could be a problem.
So what's your floor then?
My floor? Oh, at least 10-7. At least. We got to make a run at the playoffs. If we addressing problems that we had last season, now if we don't make it to the NFC Championship again, I'll be fine with that. But we need to at least be in the playoffs.
I'm with you on that. The playoffs are vital. I think that's the way that we prove no step back, no sophomore slump, all that stuff, just making it to the playoffs. And I believe they have a good enough team to get it done. And if everything works out how we expect it to work out, I think they have a team to be able to get in the playoffs, and people will have to be concerned about them.
I agree with that. I think to have a floor that's 3 games over 500 is a little high. I do think it's a difficult schedule. I do think there's, they clearly tried to rebuild this defense for a purpose to be better against the run, but you still got to see it happen.
Yep. There's a little saying, JP, called know your personnel. So when you ask Jeff a question, you need to expect you can't expect logical answers. You got to expect Jeff.
Hold on. 10-7 is logical.
That's the floor you said.
Yeah, the floor.
Okay.
It's not that far off from us saying like 8-9 wins. I find this interesting. Just in this ESPN article, they have the Bears basically just 1 game different than Washington. Ceiling of 11-6, floor of 6-11. The optimism surrounding the Bears, I find pretty damn interesting.
Well, everyone is giving all that credit to Ben Johnson. And I don't think we truly know that Ben Johnson is that capable right now.
I agree, dude. Like, rookie head coach might be great. Rookie head coach with a second-year quarterback that has some like legitimate things to work on. I don't know. He's got undeniable arm talent too. I find that curious. What would you say the Eagles' floor is?
Eagles' floor? If everything is like it was last year, you got to say their floor is probably 10-7.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is ESPN.com has their floor at 8-9, but they're ceiling all the way to 13-4. Let's check in with old White Brian. New York Football Giants, WB. That's your squad. What is the floor for the New York Giants?
3 wins.
That's the ceiling you say is 3
That's
wins?
the floor. That's the floor. All right. So what is the ceiling for the Giants?
11.
What?
How do they get to 11, White Brian?
Russell Wilson turns back the clock. Malik Neighbors has 2,000 receiving yards. And Cam Scatterbo and Tyron Tracy are a great backfield.
What is more likely to you? The Giants open against the Commanders here, then they get the Cowboys at home, then they get the Chiefs and the Chargers all in the Meadowlands. Of those first 4 games, what is more likely, 0-4 or 4-0?
0-4.
If they're 0-4, does Daboll make it to Halloween?
I think Dable makes it until December.
So the Giants start, I didn't realize both of their first 2 games are on the road NFC East division games. Division games are just so crazy. The Giants' schedule is pretty damn hard, too. So ESPN.com says the floor for the Giants is 4-13. The ceiling is 9-8. For those Dallas Cowboys, they say the floor is 5-12. The ceiling is 11-6. Of Dallas, they wrote, how ready is Brian Schottenheimer for his first head coaching job? He saw his father, Marty, coach 4 teams and has been an assistant coach in the NFL for more than 20 years. Players like the culture he has built so far in the spring and summer, but he will be counted on to make split-second decisions that will make impact and winning and losing, which ultimately would be how he is judged. The Cowboys aren't a typical team given the attention they receive on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, Brian.
We will see about him.
Remember earlier, he's like, yeah, I've had a ton of opportunities. I just turned them down.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that whatsoever.
Do you think Brian Schottenheimer
And he know this one here feels like he's going to be like a little puppet, and somebody else going to be speaking for him.
What do you believe more in?
A ventriloquist.
Brian Schottenheimer's previous head coaching opportunities or Jeff Walker catching a pass against Fred Smoot in coverage?
Jeff catching the pass.
That's belief right there.
When we come back, we're going to preview the BMW Championships up at Caves Valley in Baltimore.
This sports update is brought to you by the Chesapeake Bay Sox. Purchase tickets at baysox.com. After a promising NFL debut in the Browns preseason opener, Shedeur Sanders entered the week with a ton of attention, even more than before, if that's even possible. But today, he didn't take part in either 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 drills in Browns-Eagles joint practice. The reason, though, per the team, was pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, Shedeur Sanders has suffered an oblique injury earlier today and was held out the rest of the way. No word on the timetable for his return or how serious this injury is. And running back James Cook and the Bills have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $48 million contract extension that includes $30 million guaranteed. Among current contracts, Cook's $30 million guaranteed at signing is the third highest for the position, just behind Saquon Barkley and Raiders rookie Ashton Genty. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
Hollywood. BMitch Finlay, 1067 The Fan. If you listen to the program, you know that Brian and I really like the golf.
Yeah, we do.
I enjoyed watching last week from Memphis, the first leg of the FedEx Cup playoff that went to a playoff against J.J. Spawn going against Justin Rose. J.J. Spawn is nails from 35. But Justin Rose was able to make one more putt.
Well, he missed it. When he gets close, he's not nails then.
I know. He's got to stay around 40. This week, the PGA goes to Baltimore, Caves Valley.
All right.
Should just be awesome. Really excited. Caves is an elite golf course. Our friend Danny Frank is up there, been up there all week. What is your title this week, sir? I know you're kind of running the locker room for the caddies and the players. Is that accurate?
I'm just the on-scene reporter for the BMitch and Finlay show.
Yeah, you're damn right you are.
No, so technically we're overseeing the player and caddy hospitality committee.
There are few people I can think of better suited to handle hospitality than Danny.
Danny, you're an expert at that, dog.
Well, that's why they volunteered me. I was in charge of it 2 years. Both times it was here.
So let's start with, tell everybody kind of what this is, because 70 people, I think, make the FedEx Cup playoff, and then 50 head to Baltimore this week. Is that right? Who all's there?
Yep.
What's on the line?
So this is the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoff. So last week in Memphis, it was the top 70 players. It got cut down to 50 this week, and then it cuts down to 30 for the Tour Championship next week. So it would be the top 50 golfers here. However, Step Straka withdrew, so there's only 49 guys.
They don't go to the 51st guy?
No, because they got to play off because I think Step, even if he misses this week, would still qualify to be in the 30 next week.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's wrong with Sepp? He's hurt?
I don't know. I don't know if he gave a reason. But then the thing about it is, if you remember, it used to be where they kind of had that staggered start in Atlanta, whereas like the number one guy was 10 under and then -7, -6, whatever. So, but next week they've changed the format where everybody starts equal, and it's just shoot out till the end until see who the champion is next week in Atlanta. But this week we're excited to have the top 49 guys here at Caves. You guys have both been down here. You know how spectacular this golf course is.
Yes.
We just went under rent over the past couple of years, $100 million renovations where we redid all the green contours, redid a few of the holes. Players think the greens are just absolutely spectacular, rolling really well. I'm hanging out here at the putting green right now. I see Scotty putting with his coach over there, making a few 8-footers. Justin Rose is out here. It's great. It's kind of fun. Just hanging out. We have like a concierge desk and a player dining area, and we are in the locker room. So just these guys just walk by all day and say hi to all the top guys. JP, Roy wanted me to make sure. He says, "Is that the guy whose locker is like 8 over from me at Congo?" Oh yeah, I know that guy.
That's my guy.
So, Scotty playing another tournament without his caddy, you think that affects him in any way?
He's so good. His caddy, he had his replacement caddy out there today. during the pro-am, so I think they walked some holes yesterday. His caddy usually caddies for another PGA Tour pro. I forgot who it was. It didn't make the top 50, but was last week in Memphis. And this guy's a tour pro. Like, these caddies are good, and I think Scotty misses his regular guy. And then hopefully whatever the family situation that Ted Scott's going through gets resolves itself in a really good positive way. No one knows what it is, and that he's back next week. And if not, Scotty's just a professional, and he's such a good golfer that you could probably win without a caddy. But you know what? Like, I'm sure he trusts this guy, and they're working together on the greens right now, and they were walking together this morning in the program, so they're all good.
Well, just let them know that number 7, that's par 5 with the skinny green, or was that?
Oh, so BMitch. So
I did eagle that hole.
Okay, so BMitch. So we actually changed the numbering on it, and I think one of the things that you should look out for if people are out here in person, which we 100% suggest coming down up to Baltimore if you're watching on TV. Hole number 5 might be the one to kind of keep your eye on as to how the players play it. It was one of the holes that underwent major renovations. The green was, considerably redone with a lot of undulations. They call it the bacon strip, and it's a very curvy, very narrow, and very skinny kidney-shaped green with a lot of runoff where you can get in trouble really fast. They keep like a lot of the members have some feelings about whether or not it's a good green, bad green, and these players seem to think that it's going to be one pretty tough. So it'd be interesting to see the scoring average on hole number 5. But other than that, the course is in spectacular shape. Greens are gorgeous. Fairways are unbelievable. It's going to be great out here.
I bet it is, man. Talking with our friend Danny Frank, who's running player hospitality this week at the BMW Championship up in Caves Valley, Baltimore, Maryland. Tickets are available. Check it out, bmwchampionship.com. Wherever you go, PGA Tour, you can find it. I mean, not only that, I feel like Caves can really accommodate awesome galleries because you've got like kind of the sloping hills and stuff. Like, where are some of the best places if fans are going to go up there to watch? Like, where are some of the best spots to watch from?
I think, obviously the later holes there's going to be a lot of action, but on the front side where it's probably more hills on the front side than there are on the back side, but the front side hardly has any hospitality or tents or any obstruction. So if you really want to get close and watch guys play, I would walk the front 9, out there like around holes numbers 3, 4, 8, 9, around that area, because I think you'll get a great view of up close and there'll be like no hospitality or other priority seating in front of you.
That's a good spot. So before we get into kind of who do you think is tracking right this week, like your gig this week, I know that last night you were hosting, folks for an Orioles game. There was this video that kind of went viral of Tommy Fleetwood saying how much he loved Camden Yards. Like, these guys travel week to week to week in the PGA. Like, it's very difficult for them to really try to like assimilate into a city when they're on the road all the time. How much do these guys try to like take advantage of Baltimore and go to like a local restaurant, like that kind of stuff? You know what I mean?
I think it's like half and half. I think some of them just like to kind of stay low and kind of chill out, and it's a grind for them and it's a business for them. And there we had Danny McCarthy was out there at the Orioles game last night, did a promotion, so he was there with his family. There are 2 or 3 other guys that were there. A bunch of caddies came out. I think the caddies take advantage of it a little bit more than the players. But I mean, I think they're all excited to be here, and we just try and do whatever we can to make them feel that they're just as welcome in Baltimore or in the DC Baltimore region and here at Caves as much as they are at any other tournament. And talking to Danny McCarthy's caddy last night, he's like, you guys do it as good as anybody does. I mean, they love the facilities here at Caves. They're both, the players and caddies are in the same locker room. They eat at the same place, park right next to each other. So one of our goals here was really to make not only the player experience as good as it could be, but also the caddies experience as good as it could be. And our job is doing whatever we can, whether it's restaurant reservations or, one of the top 5 players, his parents just came up asking for Orioles tickets for tonight or things like that. That's what we're here for. We're just here to kind of help make their experience here, as comfortable as possible.
Who are you expecting to be at the winner of this one? Is Justin Rose going to be able to play in this one as well as he did last week?
Justin's here. He came. He was one of the later ones that came. He came yesterday. He didn't come on Monday. He showed up yesterday. He's a good form, but I mean, BMitch, it's always the same, top guys. Scotty's looking good. Scotty is probably one of the more laid-back guys that you could ever find on tour. And it's something like, they just come into the player dining area in T-shirts, shorts, and if you were walking by him on the street, you would just think it's just a regular guy. But then you go in the locker room, and they change into the uniform with all the logos and all their, shirts and shorts, and it's like it's a whole different type person. But it's fun to just see them relax with their families, having lunch and having breakfast, and it's just kind of fun being out here, Sam.
You're a bigger fella. Is Scotty a bigger fella? Like just in non?
Yeah,
like he's just wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
He's just wearing shorts and a T-shirt. He was in here the other day with Bennett and cute little kid, and his parents were walking around a little bit before, and he's just your average guy. Like he's just walking around. He's usually here really early in the mornings, and he's just kind of hanging out and putting a little bit and just chilling. But I think he looks very relaxed, and I think he's going to be. I think this course will look well for him.
Important question, Danny, because not all PGA Tour stops were aware of this. Should we make sure we circulate Scotty's photo to all of law enforcement in the off chance he tries to arrive at the facility extra early?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
What is?
I think we're on top of it.
So, have you gotten any bizarre requests in the locker room or in player dining? Like somebody needs vegan venison or something.
Can't get vegan.
So interesting enough, I know you guys have been here and have appreciated the K's food and our burgers and split top hot dogs and crab sliders and everything like that. But for this week, the entire dining experience is taken over by the PGA. our chefs are doing it, but they basically dictate what kind of foods are here. So they literally have everything.
Interesting.
It's all GMO. It's grass-fed beef. It's avocado oils. It's no hydronic oils. It's there's a smoothie station in the dining area all the time. They're into very big health-conscious food options here.
All right. You know what I want to know? How does Rory look? He didn't play last week. Kind of odd to skip a playoff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where's my guy's
Rory
head at?
So JP, you know how our good friend Steve Sands says, like, sometimes you never want to meet your hero because they're not what you hope that they would be. But I guarantee you, if you met Rory, he is as nice a person in person as you would ever want somebody to be.
I don't even know that I can say I met him. We very briefly interacted, and he gave my daughter.
Everybody nice to you, Danny.
Yeah.
No. He showed up, and I was asking him if his daughter was coming, and unfortunately her first day of school was today, so she wasn't. And but I was in the locker room with him yesterday in the afternoon, and we were just chatting for about 5-10 minutes. And JP, you can appreciate this. We traded some Big John and Augusta stories.
Oh, I love that.
Which I'll have to tell you afterwards. But we were just talking about his win at the Masters, and I was telling them about Rachel and Susan saw him eagle number 5 on Saturday, and they thought that was like the biggest throw of their lives. He got a kick out of that. And literally, I was just sitting in the locker room at his locker, just shooting the stuff with him for
good edit there. Good edit there. You're live on the radio.
I know. But anyway, he's awesome. He's one of the nicest guys.
Is Cantlay the opposite? Because he seems like the opposite.
I haven't talked to him at all. Again, I think he was the last one to register. And but again, like there's some guys that we see, and sometimes I didn't see Justin Thomas until I walked over to see him tee off today. But like some of these guys are in there all the time, and some of these guys are just in, out, and you don't even. And look, our job is not to pester them and to be their best friends. Like our job is to just be here if they need something. So we say hi. They want to talk to us. We chat with them. If not, they're here for a job.
Yep.
And
they're having a business.
That's the deal, right?
What time first tee off tomorrow?
9:21.
All
right. Last thing. I remember standing on the putting green at Augusta with you in 2019 as everybody was going through their routines and Tiger was just kind of walking around messing with guys, trying to hit 30-footers. It seemed like just a regular dude on the putting green. Well, and Danny and I said, like, man, Tiger looks relaxed this week. We all know what went on to happen that week. Who's giving you the relaxed, they're just here feeling comfortable vibe this week?
So And I'll preface this because I played with him in a pro-am, but love Ben Griffin. If you've met his caddy, Alex is just like a surfer dude, great vibes. And these guys are just relaxed. And I think Nick Taylor is kind of the same thing. They're just they're out there young kids and they're just having fun. They just take it all in and then nothing phases them. But Ben Griffin is one of my new kind of favorite guys. He's awesome.
Well, and
Nick Taylor.
A good showing for either of those guys could really get them in Ryder Cup situations.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex about that, and he thinks that they're positioned pretty good. I mean, I think if I remember right, I looked yesterday. I think Ben is number 8 on the rankings. I think you might have to correct me on that, but I think he has a really good shot. And if he plays really well here, then I think he can lock in a spot, which would be awesome. Ben is awesome. He's such a nice guy, and I was hanging with Nick Taylor and his caddy at the Orioles game last night, and talking sports and baseball and Toronto and Leafs and Caps and everything. It's fun. It's just fun to be with these guys. And obviously, we're here hosting them and we want them to feel at home. It's been great.
That's great, man.
All right, D.
B is officially a Chris Gotterup fan. Have you met Gotterup?
Have not met. The thing about it is some of these guys, the names, but you don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
Or you see them walk by and you know that they're a golfer, but you kind of have to look at their credential to see who they are.
I get it.
Look. So there's 49 guys here. I guarantee you, in a lineup, you could pick out 35 of them. Jason, Bridgman. We still can't figure out who he is.
All right, Danny, we got to run, man.
He's the one that looked like a CPA.
Thank you for being on Boots on the Ground.
Brother.
Hey, BMitch, this guy Andrew Martin wanted me to tell you hello. He said he knows you.
Tell him what up.
All right. Thank you, Danny. We'll
All
talk
right, JP,
soon.
I'll
man.
tell you that story later.
Sounds good. Nobody
All
go
right, man.
anywhere. John Keim joins us at 1 o'clock.
Commanders fans, it's BMitch here, and I'm ready to take the excitement global. So join me and True Fan Travel this November for the ultimate fan getaway as Washington takes over Spain, complete with game tickets, all-inclusive tailgate parties, 5 nights at the Western Madrid Cusco, and curated local events across Madrid. Spots are limited, so head to truefantravel.com and lock in your seat. True Fan Travel, they handle everything, and you make the memories. Be part of history for the first NFL game in Madrid. That's truefantravel.com. I'll see you in Spain.
I'd like to get through one commercial break without almost dying. We'll see you at the next one. One of my favorite hobbies is for my voice to sound like this, but more so.
Sound like you're choking, dog.
Dog, I got like Italian dressing stuck in the back of my throat. Landfill knows how much Aaron Rodgers drives you crazy, Brian.
Yeah.
So whenever Aaron Rodgers says something, Landfill likes us to play it on the show.
Okay.
And I'm kind of here for it today.
I'm kind of cool with it.
I'm still trying to recuperate my voice, so I'll take your time, Landini.
Come on, Len. All right, let's go. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I still don't like it.
Fine? Yeah,
no, I don't like it. No, I'm trying to change. We're in the process still. Looks like a damn spaceship out there. We gotta change it. The face mask doesn't fit the helmet, because that's an old face mask, obviously, just like I'm old. But we're trying to find the right helmet right now.
So his face mask doesn't fit his helmet?
Did you ever have this much trouble with helmets?
I don't think I ever had a conversation with my helmet. I walked in, I put it on, and I played with it. And I might have worn the first one I had for about 8, 9 straight years.
I only knew how to work helmets till about the 12th grade of high school.
You didn't get a helmet.
And then I ain't get a helmet after that.
No, seriously, though, I don't think I ever had a discussion about my helmet. Because when I got here, they asked what helmet I wore in college. I told them. And then all of a sudden, there was a helmet, size 7 3/8, in my locker.
And you wore it.
And I wore it. Then I got to Philly, and they said, what helmet you wore? I told them. And I wore it for 3 years. And I got to the Giants, and they did the same thing. I never cared about the face mask and all that other stuff because, for the most part, I was trying to keep the helmet out of it. Did use it every once in a while. But, things happen. So he say his helmet looked like a spaceship?
Dude, he also made a weird, Joe Biden joke, I think. He was saying, he's like, yeah, I'm so old, I look around, I don't know anybody, doing the Joe Biden. I continue, maybe Aaron Rodgers finds a fountain of youth. I don't know. When at his best, he's a phenomenal quarterback.
Oh, yeah, he's been that. He's been that. And I get credit for him.
But I just find it so hard to believe. It just seems so un-Pittsburgh to hitch your wagon to this dude.
They're allowing other people to start to make decisions up there. Not the old man anymore. And he brought a certain level of personable, relationship type building type stuff with it. And he believes, and now the younger, the son is coming in and he's hiring people who they just look at analytics. They think what he can still do. I believe in chemistry. Tell me what you want about analytics. I tell you one thing, if you don't have great chemistry, it ain't going to work. And this dude has been proven, he's proven to us that he will screw up chemistry. He doesn't care.
He very much cares about his helmet, though. That's top of the list. All right. When we come back, John Keim will join the program, and we'll find out if I can go 7 minutes without choking. Nobody go anywhere. BMitch Finlay.
This sports update is brought to you by Door Pro America Garage Door Service. Go with the pros at Door Pro America. Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders injured his oblique this morning, according to the team, and was held out of the first day of joint practices with the Eagles. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski spoke with reporters after practice and said that Sanders suffered oblique discomfort during warm-ups and that the plan for him to practice was scrapped last minute. A source told ESPN that Sanders is set for an MRI to determine the severity of his injury. A bit more NFL news. New York Jets All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner was held out of training camp practices due to calf soreness today. Head coach Aaron Glenn stated that the team is continuing to evaluate his injury. As of now, it is not clear whether or not he's going to be available for the Jets' second preseason matchup. And Dolphins edge rusher Chop Robinson needed to be carted off the field today during a joint practice with the Lions. Robinson, who was the Dolphins' first-round pick in 2024, was down on the field during a scrimmage period before the cart was ultimately brought over. He played in all 17 games last season and recorded 6 sacks, 26 tackles, and 8 tackles for loss. Go with the pros at Door Pro America. From spring repair or replacement or a brand new garage door to boost your home's curb appeal. Call 877-DOOR-PRO today and ask how you can save $60 on a repair or $150 on a brand new garage door. Visit DoorProAmerica.com. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, folks, I'm excited to get to the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV, and talk to our friend, Mr. John Keim. Johnny, what's up, bud?
What up, fellas?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
We're good, dude. How about you? Is it nice to not be in that hot-ass media tent today?
It is. As I'm staring outside and out in Berryville watching it pour. But yes, it is. It is.
Oh, it's pouring rain out there?
Yeah, I don't have to. But you don't have. I don't have to take 3 showers today after being out there.
That's interesting that it's raining. I mean, it's not raining here yet, but you're a lot.
Well, we're out. We're a little bit further
He
west.
lives
just
in
a
West
little.
Virginia.
I know.
Pretty damn close.
Talking with John Keim, ESPN's Commanders reporter. You can give him a follow at John_Keim, Keim. Make sure you check out the John Keim Report wherever you get your podcast. Let's start with a story you wrote this morning about the Terry McLaurin situation, where you think it is and kind of why you think it got here.
So I think there's and I think we've all known this, right? Like there are some major sticking points, which was always going to make this a tricky one to resolve in a hurry. And it starts with the age. And we've always known that, right? Like it's always been part of the equation because he's going to be 31 when an extension would start. And this is an analytics-based group, and analytics show a decline by receivers when they hit that age. Whether that's fair or not to apply to Terry McLaurin, history shows that, right? And his counter, and this is the thing, there's a counter to everything with this, right? His counter is, well, I've only played in the league for 7 years, and his game will age well. Now, maybe it does, but so that's his counter. But they're looking at it differently, and you look at Tyreek Hill last year, he restructures his deal, gets 30 per year, but he was coming off back-to-back 1,700-plus yard seasons, right? So, there was a different level that he was at with his game, and he got up to 30 per year with, I think, 50-some million, 52 or 53 guaranteed. So, you can look at all that. Nobody, Cortland Sutton, older receiver, not as productive as McLaurin, but just got 23 and a half, something like that. So, all those metrics go into it, but that's one, right? And then there's, the leverage game, right? So McLaurin side say, well, listen, look at how they look without him. And it's not quite the same offense without him. These guys will say he's under contract. So you either play or you don't get paid. And then you go into a year, an off season where you want to get a bigger deal if you're not signed to an extension, and that's not going to help you. So the ultimate leverage for them is he's under contract. And I think precedent is another one, and you can look at it. I mean, from McLaurin's side, like, hey, listen, he was the good soldier under the Dan Snyder team when it was really bad, productive, professional, became the face of the franchise, had to answer our questions all the time about it, and was always the same. They're going to look at it and say, well, that's great, but we're going to pay you for what we think you're going to do, not what you went through. And then the other part of that precedent is they're going to have guys like next offseason, Laramie Tunsil up for a deal extension. Deebo Samuel, possible free agent. Marshawn Lattimore, possible extension. Frankie Louvu, extension. So, like, they have other guys coming up, and if they start paying a big, quote-unquote, Terry tax, what are they going to pay for Tunsil, whom they traded for? Multiple picks. Mm-hmm. And Frankie Louvu was a priority signing for them after they got here. So, you know what I mean? Like, so all this stuff is weighing in there where you can see an argument both ways, and it's why I think we're in this spot. And, until the sides budge, then we'll remain in this spot.
Yeah, I agree with everybody can throw out different things, but just like you could say Tyreek came off of 2 1,700-yard seasons, well, they threw the ball to him excessive amount of times, and his quarterback was better than the ones that Terry had. Terry has done stuff that nobody else in the NFL has done, but guess what? He had terrible quarterbacks doing it. So then you bring him a good one, and he showed you what he could do for a year. I hear media and I hear teams always say a person's age. When that person is at an age and balling for you, you don't say nothing about his damn age then. You just say he's balling.
Sure. And I think in fairness, like even with the quarterbacks, his receiving yards per game were about the same. Actually, it was his third lowest of his career with Jaden Daniels. Now, part of that could be that they spread the ball. I mean, he didn't get quite as many targets, but like his catches were about what he's been getting. Overall yards about the same. The touchdowns is where it really went up. And in the red zone was where it really, really went up, right? He had 10 touchdowns there out of, I think he's had 21 for his career. 10 came last year in the red zone. So that was where the big jump was. Otherwise, the numbers were fairly steady. And that's what you're good, but that's Terry, right? Like, what you're going to get. And so how much is that the value, right? And like DK Metcalf, like that's the name we always hear, right? DK Metcalf. And for the comp, the same draft class, very similar production. Terry has more yards, Metcalf has more touchdowns, but you can look at it and say like Terry's last couple of years has been better in terms of production. But Metcalf is 2 years younger, and whether people like it or not, like the league, this is how the league views this. And he's also 6'4", which the league likes, right? So, and the other part with Metcalf is he got traded to Pittsburgh. So the Steelers had to sign him to a deal to make that trade better, right? So, like, there was leverage that he had that here McLaurin doesn't have that same leverage. Is that fair or not? Others can decide that, but that's how it's viewed. And so, but yeah, it's, he's been a very good receiver for them. There's nobody could or should dispute that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a price tag. Like, what is that worth? Is it worth being paid among the top receivers, or that's the question. That's the hard thing that they've been able to come to, or the hard part they can't figure out.
So I read your article this morning. Folks should check it out on ESPN.com, or you can follow John at John_Keim, Keim. Johnny joining us via the Rude Guest Hotline. There were two things in there which are pretty consistent with what Brian and I have been saying a lot. If you're going to make the DK comp, ignore the AAV, because the backside of that contract is overloaded with high AAVs with no guarantees that'll never see the light of day.
Correct.
It should be about the guarantees. And then I've suggested that they don't get to 30. Everybody talks about 30. You get to 28 and a half, you guarantee 2 years of it, and then you convert a little this year, and you could beat the DK guarantees right away.
There you go.
Like, it seems like there's a lot of posturing and flexing, and eventually we get to a finish line at 28 and a half, and $63 million guaranteed. Doesn't that, like, eventually where we land in this and we ignore the day-to-day operations, doesn't that sound about right?
It does. And, I've had people suggest that they think this team will get up to that 28 territory. They're not getting to 30. And the only way they would get to 30 is if there's a bogus back end, like in the DK deal, right? So where it's like, whatever it is, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So
41,
but yeah,
like that.
Yeah, it's like 43, something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, but yeah, if you could, there's a room on the cap this year. If you wanted to give them get a little bit more, and then do the 28 or so, I think that would probably be where Adam Peters is telling us what they're going to be comfortable with, right? But that might be able to get it done. But then, will McLaurin come down to that level? But again, you're right. Like, guarantees are what always matter, and the average per year wins headlines. The guarantees are what matter, and I think I think you have to. You also want to have a contract where guys are going to get paid, and obviously that's the guarantees. But I remember even when Pierre Garçon was here, where like he got paid 5 years. That's rare. The contract was a solid one that allowed him to do that, and so he made out with all 5 years. Other guys, you get the 5-year deals, you get cut after 3 years, so you're not seeing all that money. So I think the guarantees are why why it would be so important to hit what you just said. I think that would top DK Metcalf.
Right, exactly.
And if that's so, like there is a way to get there. They have to, but again, like if a side or sides are set on where they're at, then it's hard to get to that point right now. In a week or so, could be a little bit different. But right now, that's why there's an impasse.
It's been multiple players who brought this point up that they have talked about what being a commander is. Terry McLaurin fits everything that they say. He's been the guy who, even when Jaden was here, he was still one of your main guys, top guys loved by the team. And you don't take care of that guy, what does that tell people about moving forward? Do you have to believe in what you say or not?
Well, and I think there's certainly merit to that, but I still would say it's not that they don't want him or don't want to pay him. They don't want to pay him in the mid-30s, right?
But it's not. But see, that's the thing about it. That's what they say, and that's what you say. But the players look at it a different way. Players look at if I'm producing. I don't hear that about my age.
No, I get that, and I think eventually, that is something you'd have to wonder about, right? I think also a lot of these players also have their own dealings with them as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's something you look at, but I don't know. Like, I don't think they're going to. Again, I would go back to them. What they would say is the precedent. Like, if you went and took care of him to that level, again, what does Frankie Luvu say, or Laramie Tunsil, whom they pursued, right? Like, those are the guys that they targeted to get here, and for Tunsil gave up a lot to get him. So then, like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's where it's like, do you start to, how much of a tax are you willing to pay for all that? That's why I say, like, and this is what you gather from talking to a lot of people about this situation. So that's why, to me, it's always been complicated, because, like, yeah, you want that guy in the locker room. Like, you want him on the field. You're better with him, period. Nobody should doubt that. But then you get to, okay, so what's the price? And when you have other factors coming into play, is it just automatically giving the player what how they see their value, or are you relying on your own metrics to determine that? And so I think that's why, like I said, everything you say has obviously merit. You've been in the locker rooms, you know how this goes. But I think for them, like, they're going to look at it and say, precedent. You got to be careful with that. So I don't know who's right.
Talking with our friend John Keim here. I tell you one thing that helps. Keim covers the Commanders for ESPN and ESPN.com. One thing that helps is how, at times, disjointed the offense has looked. And I think to get done what they want on the field, they need 17 back out there.
Sure. Absolutely.
It looks like it.
I mean, listen, Deebo Samuel will be better when Terry McLaurin's out there, right? Jaden will look better when McLaurin's out there. I mean, I will also say Jaden made a lot of guys look good last year himself, and they're well aware.
Still, you have
of that
McLaurin
too.
out there.
Yeah, absolutely. but McLaurin has most touchdowns he's had. Olamide Zaccheaus, his best year. De'Ami Brown, his best year. Noah Brown on pace for his best year. So there's a. But again, this I would say these sides are better together, right? I mean, they're just McLaurin is a beloved person in this area because of his story, and he was the shining light during the darkest period of this franchise. And so it's understandable why he's beloved and respected. I mean, look at, how hard it is, Brian, to go from a guy who's a mid-round draft pick to becoming this. You only get there by placing a high value of who you think you are and what you can do and not bowing to others, right? Because you're determined and all that. Don't you think you bring all those elements, your mindset, into a negotiation like this, and why you might be hurt or frustrated if things aren't going the way you thought they might, given what you have done. And so, that's why I say it was always going to be tricky, always.
Do you take much, if anything, from Terry being at practice yesterday? That's the first practice he watched. I think it's also important to point out, I don't think Terry would come to practice on days with fans there because that would have been such a distraction.
Yeah.
Yesterday allowed him, and there was some juice with the scrimmage and everything, but, we did see him talk with AP for a couple minutes, and it was not public, but in front of all of us. Right.
No, it's funny because you're right. It wouldn't have made sense for him to come out to practice with fans there because then you're going to have, what's their reaction going to be throughout the entire practice. And so he also tried to be a little bit, I wouldn't say incognito because you can't be, but he had the hoodie on and, you're trying to you're not trying to draw a lot of attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, I think Terry, I'm sure this can't be something that he's happy with not participating in. This is what he works for, right? This is what a player works for. You want to be on the field. So I'm sure it's very tough for him to be out there and not doing anything. So, yeah. I mean, it was something to certainly to see him out there. I think it's probably a good thing for him to be out there.
Also, I think him being out there, that sometimes as a player that's not participating, then you get out there and you start feeling it a little bit. Get that itch.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's why there are definitely some people who don't like the hold-ins because you are there. And so you're not shielded from the emotional tug of being back on the field.
Yeah.
And so there's a definite, you're going to get fined if you're not there $50K a day, but there are
I think I'll be there then.
Yeah, well, and so, but I think that's what makes it hard because now you're bumping into coaches, you're bumping into players, and coaches have to be very careful not to say much of anything about negotiations because you don't want it to create any sort of an issue with anybody, right? And so I think, but that is there is. Guys want. This is why guys play. You want to be on the field, and so if you're not out there, it's let's get it done. But I think he is also very resolute, and again, there's a reason why he's traveled the road he has and ended up in this spot. There's a mindset that you have, and I think it's at play with this.
Talking with John Keim here. You could check out the John Keim report. Follow his work at ESPN.com. Keim joining us via the Rude Guest Hotline. Non-Terry division. We're now, 3 weeks into camp. We've seen a joint practice. We've seen a preseason game. What are you most encouraged by, and what are you most concerned by with these Washington Commanders?
So most encouraged, the defenses look pretty good. I really like the potential of that cornerback group. And Trey Amos looks like a really, really good player. Now, this is where I always go back to, this is non-Terry, but I would still say factors. It's too bad we can't see him, Amos, and then Marshawn Lattimore facing off against
Mhm.
Terry, right? Now they go against Deebo Samuel. Deebo's obviously a legitimate receiver, but he's a different sort of receiver. And McLaurin is the kind of guy you're going to face week in, week out. And so like that to me is one thing that has been taken from them, is that sort of evaluation. But I do think they look good. And I think that, I think the D-line depth is better. And I think, with the coverage that they can provide, I think it should pay off. I think the concern, I know a lot of people are going to talk about receivers, but when McLaurin's out there, I don't have the same concern about receivers. And if Noah Brown's out there, now that one, what's he going to do? But if those guys are on the field with Deebo Samuel, and if Jalen Lane's your fourth guy or whomever, I don't know who that guy is right now, but if it's Jalen Lane, I think you're okay because of their top three. So, but I would say, I look at the offensive line, and there's just, no Cosme yet. And then Brandon Coleman being out again at guard. Now you essentially have, even though you have two experienced guys there, they're not slated to be starters. And you have a rookie right tackle who has improved over the last week, but even JP, you point out a Von Miller play yesterday, right? And, against him, but I think he's improved, and I think he is improving. But there's still an adaptive period for him to go through. And so that's one where are they going, I think that group ultimately will be pretty good. It's just a matter of what are they going to look like at the start of the season, given some of the injuries and then the youth on one side. So that would be something that I don't know about concern, but it's certainly something that's to me worth watching.
For sure. John,
High alert.
Thank you for making time for us, dude. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, John.
All right, we'll
Take
see
care,
you
brother.
tomorrow. That's our friend John Keim, ESPN.com, Commanders reporter. Check out the John Keim report. He's got a good story on ESPN.com now, kind of explaining why the Commanders and Terry are still at this impasse, but also pointing out how it can get resolved. We come back. We got Nats baseball. We got to make some bets and get up out of here. Nobody go anywhere.
Hey, it's JP here. If you want comfort and convenience in your house, just like JP and I have, you need to turn to our friends over at Rude. With Wi-Fi compatibility, you have full control of your heating and cooling system right from your phone. Forgot to turn down the heat before vacation? You can adjust it in seconds. Plus, you'll get alerts if something's not right. These guys are the best, and they've installed new systems in my house, and I felt the difference instantly.
So, B, we did our Rude read yesterday, and I talked about the variable speed compressor, which ensures precise temperature and humidity control, operating efficiently even in the most extreme conditions. And your friend, Ed Mathers, texted me. He said, "Do you even know what a variable speed compressor is?" And I said, "Nope, but I know my house feels perfect." And I know
It's a compressor with variable speed.
Exactly. In these DC summers, if you can control the humidity, you control how good your house feels, and that's what Rude does. And here's the other part that I know, B. I know what saving 2 G's on your taxes will do. And with a federal tax credit up to $2,000 on Rude heat pumps, you could save some cash. Check out rude.com/federal incentives to learn more.
Rude, the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. And remember, if it ain't Rude,
it ain't right.
This sports update is brought to you by PVI Office Furniture. Fast, excellent, affordable, business grows with PVI. It's nearly time for Nationals baseball. The Nats have a series finale with the Royals at 2:10 p.m. Eastern right here on The Fan. Listen live as Jake Irvin takes the mound for Washington, going up against Seth Lugo, who's on the bump for Kansas City. Now, the Nats have dropped the first 2 games of this series, so they need a win to avoid the sweep today. We saw Robert Hassel III make an incredible leaping home run robbery last night, but my eyes are on another outfielder. Dalen Lyo is 12 for 36 with 3 RBI over the last 10 games. He is certainly heating up. Make sure you stay right here to listen to that matchup live. Looking to upgrade your office game? At PVI, we'll come to you to design the perfect office space for your team. No hassle, no stress, just a game-changing upgrade. Hit a grand slam with PVI Office Furniture when you call today to score 15% off your purchase. Get your office in championship shape at PVIPVI.com. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
Jeff gets hyped for Backstreet. Or just in sync. You guys could say I should be I don't know. Is it Backstreet or in sync?
I'm so upset.
I'm not.
I'm so upset.
You know who it is?
JP, wasn't you like a teenager or something during this time?
It was on TRL all the time. Is this Backstreet or in sync, B?
Don't ask me. I've never listened to either one of them.
I'm judging by the reaction when I said Backstreet that this is in sync.
This is in sync.
Can I tell you guys something? They're the same.
They're not the same. How
They're
dare
all
you?
weird boy bands.
They're the same.
See, this is Justin Timberlake.
Bye. When did this song drop?
99, 2000, something like that.
You didn't dream about them last night?
I did not.
2000.
All right. I was out of high school.
How do I know this song, JP? I was 6. How do I know this is in sync and you don't? I
Don't
was
you always
6.
tell us that you're a musician?
You're a
You should
musician.
know that stuff.
Still. This was your glory days, JP.
I don't think he was trying to listen to that song to try to hook something up.
Yeah. My glory days did not coexist with much in sync.
Yeah.
All right. Time to
Tell
level
him
up.
again, JP.
Yeah. Time to level up with the new AAA Commanders MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA plus exclusive experiences, discounts, and tickets. Already a AAA member? Upgrade for free or join today at AAA.com/commanders. Landfill set me up this morning with the AAA poll of the day. Question, is it weird that I had a dream about Terry McLaurin? Overwhelmingly, the people have voted and said no. Overwhelmingly. I had a dream about the contract situation, and I would
They
argue
overwhelmingly say no.
They did not overwhelmingly say no.
65% of people said not weird.
37% said yes, it's weird.
More people said it was weird than said it wasn't weird.
More people said.
Some other people say they dream about. First of all,
we've been talking about this contract thing nonstop for 2 months. I had a dream about it.
Do not put I dream about Terry too, because some people dreaming about him that they dream about for other reasons. JP dreamed about him and his contract last night in a weird building somewhere. That is not normal, dog.
We've been talking about it nonstop.
I've been talking about it. I know you've been making me talk about it nonstop, and I haven't dreamed about it.
You don't dream. You've told me that
Oh,
before.
I've had some dreams, JP, but they ain't about no damn person signing no contract.
What do you dream about?
Contracts being signed in different ways.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, there we go. Above your head.
Overwhelmingly, the people have spoken. We live in a democracy.
The people have spoken
they
that
don't
it's
think
weird.
It's weird.
How many females say yes? I dream about Terry too. And that's probably where we should figure this out.
You need a pollster for that. You better call Quinnipiac or
I'm gonna
whoever
go
does
look
all
at
the
it. I know how to
polls.
figure it out.
You're gonna let me know, dude.
Yeah. Of the 36%, they say 99.9% of them were women.
Nats baseball coming in just a moment. There's also the Mystics play tonight, I think in Baltimore. So if you're looking for something to do, go check out the Mystics in Baltimore. A little bit of news that Grant Paulson broke, I believe. Landfill, Dylan Cruz back in the bigs this weekend. You fired up?
No.
Why not, man?
I mean, when he starts playing well, I'll be excited.
When do you expect that?
I don't.
You're such a hater, dude. The pedigree is there.
He has more hate for Dylan Cruz than I have for Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. Landfill, do you think you hate Dylan Cruz more than B hates Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. I have stated that Aaron Rodgers is exceptional at quarterback. I just don't like how he handles everything else. He has never said anything good about Dylan Cruz.
That's a good point.
When he pulls that season average up over 200, I'll say something good.
He was over there at one point.
Wednesday is supposed to be say something nice. Say something nice about Dylan Cruz, Landfill.
He's only, if he gets like a hit, he'll probably have a batting average over 200.
All right, now the Nats went on a West Coast roadie. They played 3 against the Giants. They took 2 out of 3. Next stop was Kansas City, middle of the country, the heartland. They've lost the first 2. Now, B and I said on this road trip they'd go 2-4. They have a chance today to get to 3-3 on the roadie. B, you think they get there?
Who are they playing again?
Kansas City Royals. I don't believe Bo Jackson is playing.
Yeah, they're gonna play. They get a chance to go right there tonight.
I am unclear if George Brett is still playing for the Royals. Dylan Cruz coming back. Exciting stuff. Let's make some bets.
All right. Gather around.
White Brian, how we doing this week?
Everybody lost yesterday except for Landfill.
So what are the week records?
Landfill and Jeff are 1-1, and everyone else is 0-2.
All right, time to get rich, boys. What do we like tonight?
I'm taking the Connecticut Sun over the Chicago Sky.
Are you doing a money line bet? Are there
Money
points?
line, and then I'm a set up a parlay. I'm gonna take the Mystics as well.
Not thrilled about that, Jeff. I was gonna take the Mystics.
J-Dogs forever.
Yeah, y'all hang out.
God, I would love for like a random Maction, like just a random Wednesday night football game.
It's coming up next week.
I could go for like a hockey.
Week after next.
Is there any? What was that youth hockey we were all excited about? Like the American under 14 team beat Sweden or something. Remember that was a story a couple months ago?
I don't know who it was. Who you talking about, John?
I'm going to take the Brewers -1.5.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the the Rays. And you know I'm going to parlay this thing, so just get on ready for it. And give me the Twins over them old
Oh yeah, I was about
phony
to change.
Yankees.
I was about to change
Give me
my
the Twins
bet.
over the phony Yankees.
I want to drop the Mystics game,
the +1.5,
and I want to take the Yankees so Schlittler can beat the Twins.
Pause, Jeff.
That's a man's last name.
That's his name, Schlittler.
Well, you just said 2 different names, so don't say the name anymore because you don't know what the name really is. You might forget one syllable, and then we're going to be kicked off of trouble.
I did not see that. Jeff, you're always seeing L's, dog. What about you, Whitest Brian?
I'm going to go with the under in Sky versus Sun.
White Brian, I haven't checked with you lately. You still ripping off 20-cent bets at a reckless clip?
That's too high for him.
We'll see once football season starts.
What was your card like last night?
I didn't have one.
Is Rose aware of your gambling addiction?
Rose doesn't mind that addiction. It's 20 cents. She's like, baby, you can have a bigger addiction. Get the 40. When he gets to $1, she'll care.
Is she aware?
Yeah.
Does Rose listen to the radio program?
No.
She's too busy teaching.
She's working, man.
Even in the summer when she's off?
Summer school, dude. Summer school.
She got to take care of the dogs that he don't take care of.
Somebody's got to take care of the dogs they don't have. I'm taking the Sticks tonight. Go Mystics, playing in Baltimore. Expect that B More crowd to be rowdy. The Mystics are playing the new WNBA team from Golden State, Brian.
All right.
Do you know their team name?
No, I forgot it. I saw it the other day. I forgot it.
The Valkyries.
The Valkyries. But let's just say, will people in Baltimore really cheer? They got Washington on their thing, or are they going to put Baltimore on it?
Maybe they just wear a Sticks jersey. I don't know. Tune in to find out.
That'd be interesting.
Thank you to everybody that listened to the program today. Thank you to Neil Greenberg for joining us. Thank you to Danny Frank for joining us from Caves Valley BMW Championships. And thank you to John Keim for joining us from ESPN.com. Nats baseball coming your way next.
This This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.